Good morning, guys. What's happening? Right. Uh, who's all here? Hang on to see who's here. Good morning, Rob. You all right, mate? Zero Kush. Rudo, Jazzy, Gilly, Super Coven. You all right, mate? How you getting on? Charles Dumax, Lee Coleman, 6904. Andrea Amalia. How you doing, Andrea? All right, pal. Paul the Tat. Mother Gothel. Who else we got? Real Fight Club. Hey up. What's happening? Stu, you all right, mate? Chelsea, mate, I'm just up. Video Craig, what's happening, mate? You all right? All good? Big Billy. In fact, hang on, Craig. I'll send you something. Wait a minute. Who the hell did I send it now? I sent it to Karma now. Hang on, I'm just going to send you something, mate. 2 seconds, because I can't multitask. It's only women that can multitask. You ever said, like, right, hang on a minute, I text somebody, and if you're speaking to somebody on the phone and you're texting somebody, you end up putting exactly what you're saying in the conversation, so it's no good. See, and just because I've said Simon, it's Video Craig I'm looking for. Video Craig. Video Craig. Stew. Where are you, Stew? Oh, see, Stew's in the Stew. Got to send you the link, Stew. I've sent it to Carl Emma. So what's happened is Simon, the lad Simon. Now he might jump on this morning, but as Alex said last night, we covered everything. And the fact that he got a threatening fucking phone call, which we tell him just to blank, but at the end of the day, we're not going to be taking it. You know what I mean? It's like fucking. We're not going to be taking the responsibility. We're telling them just to ignore it, because I don't know the full credentials. I don't know if it was his phone. I don't know if it was his wife's phone, because it's that number. If it's half his business thing, that number's actually beside his wife's name. So I don't know. So he might jump on this morning. If he might know. But at the end of the day, guys, I was about 500 or something in the chat or something last night between the two channels. Just wanted to thank Exposure. All these guys who shared it. I think Alex shared it in his Facebook or something. I'm not sure. But obviously something's working. So I've sent I'll just keep an eye on my messages. I turned notifications off last night, didn't I? And then I woke up this morning, I put the notifications back on. It was fucking mad. But you need to sleep. Doesn't suffer fools. Good morning, mate. What's happening, pal? Busy up there? Still up by? Still up by or down below? Who's got Tinkerbell? How you getting on, mate? Weeping Willow. Good wide waters, not welcome. Good night, wide waters. I'm not even looking, mate. I'll tell you what I do need. I need the glasses on. That helps. Stu, I've sent you the link, mate, as well, if you want to go in. For 5. But yeah. The guy get threatened if he come on alive. Absolute stupidness, man. It's someday these people are going to wake up, aren't they? And well, I don't really know. We've got Cletus saying he's going to the police. Has he been called a nonce? We've got Cletus saying he's going to the police because he's been getting called a nonce. I'll go to the what was it? Fucking hell. Wait till I read this. You know, it's all right for him to make half a dozen videos and big Brian Cockerill, you know, roasting the life out of him. But when he gets one wee video back, you know, he's got to go to the police. Well, here you go. 999. Okay? 999. Leave people alone. Simple. 20 years ago, if a guy turned up at your door, you'd have shit you, so you wouldn't have seen daylight by your door. Aye. Did you see it last night, Stu? Cletus. What is it you call him? Cletus Groovy. He's going to report you to Ofcom. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Well, so wait a minute, right? I've got to say, so hang on. Let's just clear these wee things up first this morning. So, he makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 videos out of 10 on Brian Cockerill. Good morning, Stu.
Morning, mate.
You know what? If I was like to just quickly here before we talk about roasters, I like that back your thumbnail. The colours is good. It sticks out. See your thumbnail that you've always had in the Real Fight Club.
Oh yeah, aye. It's just a logo for the channel. It's been about 4 years.
Yeah, mate. See what happens, Stu? Because right, you see, the Real Fight Club, your YouTube channel. I take it you just stopped working on it for a while because it was doing really well at one point.
Yeah, well, I used to film a lot of boxing and bare knuckle and stuff like that, but I've kind of retired from it all now. So,
aye, because I think, mate, right. I'm not sure what. Obviously, you were busy, right? But when it first started, I told you it was the first time I seen Danny Christie's videos was on with that thumbnail.
Yeah, it would have been on the Facebook page for it. It's quite a decent sized Facebook page, like. But Furby was sending us videos on a text saying, "Will you stick these on?"
Right. So that's how you got it, right? See,
yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know how you got it, mate.
Aye, that was it, mate.
That was it. So yeah, I don't know if you listened to it last night, Stu. Were you in the chat last night?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
The chat was crazy.
It's nuts, isn't it? All this bloody machete thing. I tell you who I think that could be, you know. Can you remember that old bloke who reckoned he was some kind of gangster? George or something? That he did the podcast with. I bet it was him. Because he was the broadest Scottish I've ever heard.
Ferry?
I can't remember his name.
Oh, wait a minute. No, you're talking about... fuck me, man. The old guy for Dundee. He was a bit of a boy in his day, but no, it wouldn't be him, Stu.
Nah.
No, mate, you're it's no. It was George Kerr.
I can't remember.
His podcast was up a couple of weeks ago. We struck it. We actually bought the rights to it and struck it with copyright because Decca wouldn't remove it. We bought a few rights. Motorsports bought a few rights because it all started because it wouldn't take Alex Kearney's podcast down.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Alex found out the truth, he wanted the podcast down. Decca refused to do it. So we bought the rights off people. You know, things get sold, and that was what happened.
Yeah, why not?
He got hit with 1, 2. He lost. That's why the official All or Nothing. And then when they hit me with 4 fake copyrights a couple of months ago, I waited until he shared one from the official one to these other page. Because technically, if you're sharing it from one to another, that's basically a copyright as well. But I don't know how it's working because YouTube's changed the goalpost a bit now. I really don't know what's happening with it all.
I think anybody does.
No,
I certainly, if I'd done a podcast with him, which I haven't, I'm pleased to say, I certainly wouldn't want to be on his channel or associated with him. So I don't blame Alex for wanting off it. Like,
no, well, that's Alex just asked him nicely. Please take it down.
He's a prick. He's just a prick. You know what he's like. He'll not do anything for anybody apart from himself.
You knew him long before I did, Stu, and what kind of fucking reputation he had. Even as I said to Simon, his reputation in the BKB world is fucking dirt. The guys in that, like you said, guys has been doing this for a long time.
Well, he was always a numpty for after he's had his first fight when he fought the Leicester Bulldog, who was a great fighter in his day, but I mean he was well past his prime at the time.
Yeah.
But when he was trying to arrange his second fight, he said he wanted £10,000 in the Range Rover, and he got fucked off.
He said that he said he wanted for after that first fight.
Yeah, he asked the promoter for 10 grand.
Wow.
And at the time, the promoter had a Range Rover, and he wanted his Range Rover as well.
Wow, that shows you, mate. What do you call the wee guy? Is he a barrister? No, a barrister. He's a solicitor or something. What do you call him? That does the fighting, does the bare knuckle.
Oh, Seth.
Yes.
Seth Jones.
Listen, mate, these guys have got hundreds of fucking fights under their belts, man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Seth's an interesting story, though, you know, because he was quite a big drug trafficker, and he got caught importing like tons of the stuff, and he did a lot of jail, and he did all his law qualifications when he was in jail.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems an interesting dude. I don't know if I was been drawn to the I don't know. There's something different about him. Maybe that's what it is now.
He's a nice guy. Seth, like tough bloke, like tough bloke.
And mate, he must have like let's be realistic about it. He'll be what, over 50 fights. That guy.
Yeah, I would say so.
Aye. I mean, and then you've got
and he fought the best as well. He fought the likes of Dave Radford twice, and Dave, I mean, excelled in bare knuckle, but he took Roberto Duran the distance when he was a pro. So it's not just mugs he's been fighting either.
I didn't know that, but Seth, I did know. So he learnt his law degree. He got his law degree in that from prison.
Yeah.
And then he came out and what? Did he get into law firm? How did he work? Because his criminal record, how did he manage to work that, Stuart? Do you know?
He was qualified, but he never practiced.
Right. So he could act. He could act for people on a McKenzie.
Yeah. So he's qualified with his law degree, but he couldn't practice because of his
history.
Yeah.
But
I don't know how long he did, but it was a decent lump of jail that he did, and I'm sure it was a couple of tons of sniff he got caught with importing into the country.
Right.
On a boat.
See, that's the kind of things we need to be hearing more of. Kind of like these guys' stories, like where it went peak down for them. And, you know, I mean, mate, I need to get away from this. As you know, I've got plans this month, but I need to get away from this certain corner. YouTube, man, because it's absolutely madness.
It's vile, mate, isn't it? It's vile.
Because all it takes is, you know, everybody will say it's just your luck sometimes on this YouTube. But I think there's certainly a few things need to get pointed out before I certainly move for it. But I certainly see like that. Seth Jones, go on, you go get the back, son. Good boy.
Aye, Seth's an interesting bloke, definitely.
Do you know him personally, Stu?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Actually, I like the kind of stories. Good morning, Stephen Jones.
I'm going to have to shoot, mate, because I've got a meeting to go to in 10 minutes.
On you go, Stuart. I'll catch you later. I'll phone you later, mate.
Nice to you. I'll speak to you.
Okay, buddy. Speak to you soon, Stu. So that's Stu there. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's seen him in the chat there. He's Seth Jones. Very interesting character, but I didn't know that about him. All I knew was he wasn't the daftest bulb in the block at the box, but he'd certainly had a lot of fights under his belt. You know, most of these guys in the BKB world down there, Newcastle, right down that Hill Coast, man, they've got fucking loads of fights, and I mean loads. Like 30s and 40, 50 fights under their belt. And, you know, they were all out there slugging it away. I mean, listen, the ones that I've seen, let's see the BKFC card there. Listen, come on, you guys, I'm not daft. I'm not saying Decker cannot fight. That'd be wrong of me, but where other guys is concerned, I know I'm friendly with a boy. He actually lives outside Carlisle now, an ex-army lad. Yeah, fucking yeah. What this boy can lick, so he can. He was actually in a fight with what the fuck's the Travellers boy now? I think he was called. Was it Ghost or something? He was called. And it was outside Leeds, and there must have been 800. He was the fight of the night, and it was the fight of the night as well. He was at the heavyweight, and he actually lost. He actually flung the fucking dummy out because people were flinging water and some ice into the bales, and his temper went. And then we were marching up and down the front of the fucking foyer bit, into the venue, and the bouncers were like, "Mate, please tell him, we don't want him kicking off. I was like, he'd be fine. He was absolutely fucking Aaron Lamborn. The boy's name is. Just put it in. Aaron Lamborn. No Lambo. It's got the bodybuilder. That's a different boy. He's actually for Luton. He's ex-army. Brilliant. Different breed. What's happening, mate? Have you ever came across Aaron Lamborn in the fighting, Carol? Oh, Carol, by the way, I messaged you back yesterday, just in case you've not checked. Weeping Willow. It's a good start, mate. You have to put the work in. Oh, it's a spiritual. So, Stephen Jones. Stephen, you'll be liking it, mate, because what I've done here, you'll be wondering why you're in the lives. You can see yourself, is because I've shared the Humble Dryer and the official Humble Dryer. I'm streaming them both together. I'm streaming them both together, mate, and it's working fine. Because this is a strange one, guys, right? So Stephen Jones can come in the official Humble Dryer and comment, or is it our way about, Stephen? I can't remember. But he can't come in and comment on the Humble Dryer. And he's no barred. He's no blocked. He's no. I don't know how many times did we check, Stephen. He's not blocked. And we don't know how. We haven't got a clue why he cannot comment on the Humble Dryer live stream. Bear in mind, this is the official and the Humble Dryer both linked up right now. They're both running through each other, and he can come in and comment in the official, but he cannot comment on the Humble Dryer. Now that is mind-boggling, because he thought we'd blocked him, and actually done, I don't know, a couple of screen recordings, me going in, showing him the block list, showing him definitely no blocked, but he can come in and comment on the official Humble Dryer chat. I don't understand it, and to be honest, I'm not even here to try and work it out, because whatever they've done it, and it's out within our control. Good morning, Barney Rubble. That's a good name. What's happening? What's happening was Simon, the guy who was going into business with Backyard Brawls, has decided not to get into business with Deca Heggie. He's basically walked away. I mean, they might come on this morning. As I said, we covered it last night with Alex Kearney. For AC coming back to life, came on last night. And we at the end of the day, there was a note played where the guy's been phoned up with a broad Scottish accent, and he was threatened that if he came on the Humble Dryer and after walking away from Deca, he would be getting a machete through the head. So now I don't know if it's went to his wife's phone. I don't know if it's went to the guy's phone, because the business number is actually sitting beside his wife's name for what we can see. But again, we don't know. He just said that they got a call threatening to get macheted or something. So last night he was going to come on, Karma Corner. I want a Range Rover, get you a coat, and I will get you a taxi. I did, okay, I will negotiate. I will fight for a pot noodle and a wank in the toilet. You ask some boy into Karma. Karma sent you a link. Spikey speaks it. You're on Humble Dryer too. Okay, guys, because some of you won't be able to see half the chat. The other half, I don't know. There'll probably be more people from the Humble Dryer than there is on the official. So I don't know. I'm seeing 182 altogether right now, which is all right for this time of morning. I think there was over 500 last night, which was brilliant. Last night, because I was speaking to Alex, I didn't look at the comments, guys. So if you felt ignored all that, it's just because if you look at the comment section when you're talking to somebody, one, it's a height ignorance, and two, it just flings you right off. So you're better just sticking to it as and just ignoring the chat. I say that to everybody, especially when you've got so many people that would like to upset your night like I have got. I find it brilliant. YouTube baddie, all right, humble. How you getting on, mate? All good? Super Coven. Paul the Hat. I'm almost reminded of Ted Bundy with TH. Yeah, true, mate. Laura Connor. Charles, I will fall over laughing because it couldn't happen to a more deserved Savile head, e.g. your Decca. Sorry to anyone who has lost a loved one to taking their own life, but Decca can do one. Fair shout. In fact, you know what? That deserves that. I'm going to give that a star. That comment deserves a star. There you go. That's how much I care. You're right, Laura. You can fucking do one. Karma Corner. You still want this Range Rover? How's the boat funds going on? We need a boat fund. We need a boat fund. Definitely need a boat fund. Well, I put the link out for 5 minutes. I put the link out for 5 minutes, or will I know now? Will I toss a coin? Heads or tails, guys? Morning, official topic talk. David McIntyre, good morning, John in chat. Good morning, Paul. You all right? Spiky speaks out. Billy. Tails, heads, tails. Fuck's sake, I'm never going to be here. I'm going to be tossing it all morning, aren't I? We're turning into another deck of eggy soon. Tossing it all morning. Hey, Karma. Good morning, Chelsea Darts Middle. Here, John, one of the Dickie's subs offered me a fight last night on Backyard Brawls. Oh, you want 10 grand and a Vauxhall Nova GTE. Oh, they're getting hard to find. Scrogs, good morning, mate. Karma Corner, can't come on. Lost my front teeth. Turned the house. Car. Turned the house car. I was thinking this morning. Oh, think the fur babies. Ate them. So it's 7 dog poo for me and 12. Oh, you've not got Soul Nationals, have you, day? Oh, dear. He's lost all Nationals. Oh, you what happened to last year? It lost his Nationals, Karma. You know what happened to last year, didn't you? You get what happened to him, didn't you? You could tell. He wasn't getting his teeth finished. Nah, no chance. The teeth are not going to finish. You're going to begin. They're a bit like Hannibal. But that's basically. So you're trying to tell me, Karma, show me the Decca face. Then show me the native face. You want to look like that? It's one, right? 9 teeth. 9 teeth. Oh dear. Karma's lost the teeth. Oh. I'm a new Heggy. Face orange. Oh dear. Face flusher. Oh dear. You've not got a speech impediment now, you Cameron. You're not one of them ones. You've not got the teeth in. Don't lie. You're going to see if you can get a bit of competition for the Draca too. It's coming out, aren't you? Oh dear. Oh man. See when he's sitting there that night, he says, the film producer says, no, don't get your teeth fixed because it helps with your European drug trafficking image. He says it helps you speak like a European drug trafficker. Fucking hell. Oh dear. I'm thinking of putting up reward posters for their teeth. Dear, it can't be that fucking far away. Yeah, I'm going to say the obvious thing will be where you left them. But Karma, you know, why would the teeth be anywhere outside? I'm saying that if you've been out in the camper van, I see what you're getting at here, right? But I mean, if some fucking old woman or someone comes up and says they've been funning a lump of wood up there, but they've been biting into the wood, you know, you've got a bit to explain today. So I'll go and get a set of fucking teeth a day and chat them down into a bit of wood. Say, well, fun Karma's teeth. Reward. Oh dear. Oh dear. Mate, listen, I watched that. See that channel there. I like Tony Meehan, right? Don't come in and badmouth the guy's name, mate, or I'll block you. Tony Meehan's just building a channel. He's a good wee fighter. And he's good well manners, so don't come in badmouth Tony Meehan. I know Tony Meehan personally. I've met him personally. Okay. Glasgow's finest North Winters. Big Bully. He's a little wronging. Seen mate. David McIntyre. God willing. Also, is that you, DD? Is that your new channel, mate? You know what? I was actually going back through things last night. But he's back in Decker. Liam Baldy's channel, mate. Listen, Tony's no daft. He's got a good wee head in his shoulders, trust me. Tony Meehan. Tony, you know what happened? This is a true story as well regarding Tony Meehan. Listen to this. Yeah. So Tony Meehan was another one who fell under the victim of Paula Benny. True story. Tony Meehan, for some reason, they got a bit fruity between him and Paula. Tony allegedly sent the dick. Yeah. And the next thing, the whole world knew about it. Paula told the whole world. She caused a rift with Tony Meehan and the other boys. True story. So I just wanted to point that out. Yeah. Karma Corner, Weeping Willow, I have a hole in my jacket pocket. So if I put them in my pocket, and they're probably anywhere. Mate, listen, Tony Meehan, if he's doing anything, he'll be doing a smart move. At the end of the day, he'll not be that daft. He'll not be that daft. But Paula caused a lot of division there, because again, yeah, how's it? Just Paula. Ask. I'll tell you who you can ask. In fact, don't nip the boy's seed. But Danny Christie and Tony Meehan and that, they all had a good day with Tony Meehan, so we did. Yeah. Until Paula came along and drove division between. I think Danny stopped speaking to Tony because it was the way Paula had put it, and he's sending me dick pictures, blah, 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 blah. But wait a minute, Paula. First time you ever fucking spoke to us, you sent us 3 videos of you in the bath. Eh? You know what I mean? There's nothing. Listen, and that'll be where they're trying to. But if there's a couple of folk, I know women, a couple of women who support Tony Meehan as well. But I just hope that the women who, if they're fucking friendly with him, realise what they're hiding from him as well. At the end of the day, I'll speak to. I've not got fucking that Facebook any longer. But Tony Meehan will not be having his gateways. Leave it with us. But yeah, there was division called in there. Again, Paula Benny. Yeah. So the fucking trouble. If I find them, I'll jump on. If I don't find them, I'm going to do a roll mode. Right, Karma. Right. I'm trying to think what we could use for you. I'll send you the snap-on teeth. Right? I'll send you the snap-on teeth. I'm quite sure I've got a set of snap-ons here. I'll send you a new set, right? I'll send you a new set of Snap-on Smile. Just when you put the Mogan into your mouth, you have to beware because it fucking will grip. Try to get the bottom ones out with a bit of a job. Is Rob Olgoff in the chat this morning? I've not seen Rob in this morning. Or is he there? Jimmy Algebra. What's happening, mate? I'm going to put the link out to see who's coming on and who's not coming on. Carl McConnell's no teeth. Fucking useless. Can't I get staff anywhere nowadays? He's no teeth and he doesn't like him on the street like he's got no teeth. Did want to make me no teeth. Mate, see, to be honest with you, John, that little lad Tony has a thing with sending girls stuff. Hang on, mate, hang on. So Carol Walker says, mate, see, to be honest with you, John, that little lad Tony has a thing with sending girls stuff on a constant basis, especially the BKB ring girls or anyone good looking. He's trying his luck. Not a fan, buddy. Well, as I said, the only person I actually knew of him doing it with was Paula Benny. But again, she's no way enjoys you. So, again, this is Deca trying to find common ground with people. If he's doing that, well, eats to their fucking own, isn't it? But he needs to kind of look at thinking, well, wait a minute, maybe I'm doing that. That's what Decker's guilty of. No, it's no, mate. It's nowhere near it. And yeah, if Tony is backing him, Tony will just damage his own because what he'll do is everything else will come out. Or these fuckers will come out after him. That's what happens. I hope he's got the sense to stay away from Decker and sort his. But let's face it, if he's a single guy and he's going after ring girls, the worst he's got to get called a pervert. That's the worst he's got to get called, isn't he? However, Decker would love that title. Decker the pervert. He would just love that title. I mean, if he could have you want that trophy of the day, you just have been a pervert. He'd love that trophy. He would actually walk down Carlisle Street like that, down Butchergate with a big pervert trophy. Unfortunately, he's not got the pervert trophy. He's got the grapist trophy. Aye, Steve needs to learn. Right, Steve, you need to stop jumping at these people in the stream. You've not, because you'll get yourself in trouble. You listening? Steve, your mic's off. Stephen, hello.
Can you hear me now?
Can I hear you, Steve? Press your mic.
Can you hear me now?
No, press your mic.
Yeah, it's on.
It's you now. I can hear you now. Listen, you need to stop jumping at folk in these streams. Yeah, you've got Carol Walker here. Want to jump into the ring with you now?
That's good. I'm just here to tell people that they should keep Tony's name out of their mouth because he's a good lad.
Jackie Saunders is saying here. Hang on, bear in mind. Jackie's saying, Steve, who are you referring to? Keep Tony's name out your mouth.
Jackie, it wasn't you. It wasn't you at all, mate. It was that W477 3 account. It's not you, Jackie. I was referring to the account W477.
Good morning, Rob Olgoff. How you getting on, pal? Is that you? Where were you this morning? Brindo, you got a wee dog, Brindo, have you? Carol, did you look at your Instagram? Did you look at it, mate? After you saying yesterday, I went and looked to double check.
Morning, Rob.
Well, to be honest, if listen, if what do you call him? Oh fuck me, man, his name's right now. Can't even remember his fucking name. Tony Meehan. My mind's gone into it. If
Yeah,
Tony
you all of you leave my boy Tony Miani's name out your mouth, because he's a good lad. You know, he's a top lad. He is, John.
Jackie and them saying that he's back in Decca. Do you know anything about this, Stephen?
I don't, mate, but you know, I'll certainly have a mooch around. I'm sure it's not true. You know, if you're going to speak to somebody, don't mean to say you're with them. And you know, Tony's one of us. Tony's a lad. You know, and I won't have anybody else speak of him at all. He's a good lad.
Right, Pacama, you've on the teeth having a laugh. If the teeth are in the cut box I posted out, I want them back. Yeah, mate, Jackie Saunders is your number one. Oh, Jackie Saunders has always been my number one. Number one, Jackie Saunders.
Yeah, I won't have nothing all said about Al Tony.
Jackie's been here for the beginning. But Steve, if he's back in Decca, mate, he gets what everybody else gets out here. Yeah. But again, I've not seen any evidence.
I can't see him being doing that, John, because he keeps himself to himself, and he's engrossed in his fight game, and you know he doesn't get involved in dramas or anything like that.
Well, I'd make sure, mate, because I've not been on the Facebook scenario, the Fight Club, for about a year now. I've not even looked at it. So Karma's saying, I saw him in Decca's chat, Steve, saying he was going to be on Backyards Brawl, saw it with my own eyes, and clicked the avatar, and it was him 100%. And then this W477EN, Tony Meehan is involved in Decca's backyard nonsense, according to Decca. Well, listen, all I'm going to say is, obviously I take Karma. If Karma's seen something, all I'm going to say, if he's wanting to get involved as and going to fight in it, Tony loves a fight, so that wouldn't be surprising. But if he's going to be going investing in it, to be honest, after speaking to Simon last night, Decca, the way that guy Simon had planned it was nothing like the way Decca had put it. It's nothing even close to it. Yeah. And at the end of the day, there's a few things there. So I would just, until you actually speak to him, if Tony Meehan's backing Decca up, I'm just looking at a message.
Well, I'll send him. I'll have a chat and see what's happening.
Waiting to book tickets. Oh, hang on. I'm just looking at a message. You know, guys, 2 seconds. I've got a shitload of shit to be doing this morning, so I'm just kind of jumping between everybody. Where's Stephen? Is he away? Hang on a minute. Yeah, Steve, go and message him. Just here. Alex, that link should still work, mate. Karma's lost his teeth. The useless bastard that he is. I mean, what guy loses their fucking teeth? Yeah? What guy loses their teeth on a Wednesday? John, who's that guy, Stephen? Don't listen. He's fine. He's like, you know, he's just one of the boys. He's good, mate, right? You just need to keep an eye on him, because he can let his emotions run away with him quickly. And like, maybe I can say something, but everybody knows what way I'm taking it. Like, Karma's just a useless bastard, isn't he? Losing his teeth on a Wednesday, and everybody knows is what I'm saying when I'm just joking. He's a guy for the official topic talk, mate. And at the end of the day, I'm quite sure he'll be away to phone Tony on Messenger or someone and saying, you back this Decca up. Carol, no, mate, I'm not giving you his title, because, no, I'm not giving it. There's Super Coven in with a link. Super Coven. Sorry, I'm just sending a message here. So, oh dear, here for the popcorn. Here for the popcorn. Save saying W477EN laugh out loud. Oh dear, I'm waiting on a 50 cent to post on the Instagram about filming with the famous governor of Carlisle. Wow. Your Willie abodes world. What's this? Tony was getting Decker's fighters for the shit show. Well, let's face it, guys. I'm quite sure the likes of Simon and these guys who are sitting there with well, as I said to Simon, now that you've been, let's say, now this is something everybody needs to think about here. Now that Simon's been warned, right, about the dangers of fucking having him run his kids, if Simon was to then ignore that and then have him run his kids, well, we do know of women in Carlisle that the police have actually went to and said, finish the relationship or lose your kids. That's not something we've made up in our head. That's fact. Finish the relationship or you lose your kids. Like, as I'm quite sure there'll be a few people in this chat and a few people listening in this morning who can verify that. Simon, I mean, certainly can work with somebody like that and keep him afar, but to have him anywhere near the family home now after you've been told, I don't know where that sits. But anyway, the guy's no stupid. The guy ain't stupid. He's got to do his own homework. Yeah, as I said to everybody, don't just believe us. Just fucking go and do your own homework on him. You'll get disclosed the information on him, and that's it. And then you don't need to take anybody's word for it. Just go and do your own homework. Say that to everybody. It takes 10 minutes to fill out one of the applications, guys. But you need to do it for the right thing. Dale Madman people. Oh, sorry, mate. Listen, see that Instagram. I did go on it just to send maybe links and that, mate. But I spend on average about fucking 50 minutes a week on Instagram. I don't know. It's just I don't like it. Something about it. I just don't like it. I think it's too much. Everybody. I don't know. I do like watching these. Has anybody seen these jet skis? Except it's like it's shaped like a fish, and you can actually go down in the water with them. I do like them. I must admit, there's something kind of strange about them. Liking them. I don't know how good they'll be good getting down on depth into the water, but they can certainly get right under the water, and you can remain dry. I like them. So that's basically fucking how I joined Instagram, because I started watching these stupid fucking things. Chris Murphy, yeah, that's correct. Social services would be involved, Humble. It would be, definitely, Chris. If anybody's from, I think that'd be regarding anybody. I think you'd been pre-warned about, wouldn't you? And certainly there's people in Carlisle who vouch for that, and further afield that one girl in particular. Now, I don't know if it's exactly this way, but seemingly, the girl was going up a front door path. He was coming behind her, and the neighbour from along the street ran along and begged her not to have him in the house, not to have him. A neighbour actually begged the young lassie, and it turned out she got a fucking Sarah's Law, Claire's Law thing on him, and that's it was that's how bad it was. Some women seen him coming up the steps, going into somebody's house, and she fucking begged. She begged the young girl, please don't have him here, and she begged him, and that was like, what the fuck? So you could imagine that, like an atmosphere. He's fucking. The monster's coming up the back stairs. He's coming up the stairs there. The lassie's going in the house, and you've got a fucking neighbour along the road screaming, begging to help him. And she did. She listened, and it turned out they done one of these Claire's Law things, and boom. And then another girl who was told if she didn't fucking end the relationship, she would lose her children. That's well documented as well somewhere, so as guys. I don't want to mention the lassie's name, of course, but that is well documented. Good morning, Helen Janes. I said Buggy should get them, John. Hey, mate, anybody can get them. Anybody. But again, it's like, it doesn't matter. See, everybody in my chat here went and got one of them and heard it for yourselves. Which I don't advise you fucking doing, because nobody really needs to hear that. But it would make, the thing is, it's just, Decca's worked on a blocking. A block. I'm just going to block you, move on. Block you, move on. Block you, move on. That's all he does. And that's all he does. It's just fortunate at the beginning he'd caused that much of an uproar in the BKB world with being a fraud, that all the boxers, all the fighters were like, fucking, who's this humble dude, man? We like him, but this humble dude, this cunt's no right. This Decker's a fucking fraud. Here's Steve coming on. How are you getting on, Steve?
Oh, he's back. Back again. How you doing, John? Yeah, I've just spoken to Tony.
Right, yes. Tony, is that? Can somebody check if that's the real Tony in the chat for?
Yeah, that is, John. That's the real Tony.
What I do is nothing to do with anyone. I'm not helping anyone behind the scenes. And even if I was, what has it got to do with anyone? I'm my own man, and no one tells me who to like or who to dislike. Well, Tony, see, bonus, mate, I've got to start that. If you want to go out and talk to a convicted sexual predator, like, albeit, it's a free world, mate. It's a free world. You can go and promote them if you want as well. It's a free world. Can't stop you doing that. But like anybody else that does it, they'll be getting promoted as well. It's as simple as that, mate. There's no rules for different fools. It's just the same rules throughout. And as I said, I like you. I don't know what your backstory is with these ring girls. I'm not fucking interested, to be honest. But if that's who you want to go out and promote, that's fine. But you said you're not doing it. That's fine as well.
He's not back.
There's no different rules for you, mate. At the end of the day, if you're out there promoting them, bearing in mind, Tony, I've heard all this shit about them, yeah? And I've been promoting this for years, and I've spoken to you fucking personally. So, again, if you want to, if that shit gets ignored, well, that's up to you. There's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah. He had a couple of conversations and that was it, John. You know, I believe Tony's nothing to do with Decker.
Nah, I believe, mate, I've been fucking saying that all morning in this chat, but at the end of the day, I'm saying if somebody comes in with that atmosphere, I'm just got to say it as well. And Tony, I've been with you personally, mate. You've spoken to me. Me and you sat at the fucking table speaking, so you know who I am. I've no reason to lie. Like I told you when you were with Gary. I'm not sure if it was the one outside Barnsley. Remember? Show me where I've promoted. I'm not saying you've promoted him, mate. I'm just speaking as in anybody. Like yesterday, like for example, speaking with Simon. I'm just saying if anybody's promoting him at Decker in a good light, there's no different rules for anybody. Everybody gets the same.
Big up Tony Meehan.
Yeah, Tony, as I said, mate, as I said at the beginning, in 2019, it was like, I'm going to these fucking fight shows, there was maybe about 800 or something at them. And to be honest, mate, Decker was never even fucking spoken at them. That's how much relevance he had at these fight shows. Like, some of these boys have fucking fought fucking loads, hundreds of fucking fights, some of them, man. Maybe like 50, 80 fights, some of them's got another belt. He's not spoken about in the BKB world. And anybody kind of chasing a dollar, trying to get a dollar off the back of Decker, it's not going to happen. Not in the BKB world. I think Tony will be. Steve, the world knows of them sort of creatures. No one speaks to them. It's your choice, but it's a choice of morals, mate. You'll have your name stained, Stephen, bro. Patch him and give him a hiding. Who's that? Who's that?
Is that for me? Is that? Or
I think he's saying that to you, mate. I don't know, mate. The chat's not singing. Take my
I'll
glasses.
patch Decker up, definitely. You know, I'll put the band-aids on his face after as well. You know, everybody knows how I feel about that situation. You know, I made a big mistake, and when I realised the truth, you know, I'd done what the rightful thing was.
Tony, yeah. So yeah, Tony's saying, yeah, all good anyway. I'm my own person. I only promote and fight for BK. You know, doing it. What's happened with you? You were fighting on Christian's scorecard. What happened there, Tony? Is that still going? I've not spoke, mate. See, since I lost that Facebook. I've not lost. I just can't get fucking into it. I've kind of lost touch with most of the guys, you know, through the bare knuckle, and I've got fucking similar numbers. But the bad thing is because my phone book's like a Da Vinci Code. I've not got like Stephen Jones in my phone book. I've got Stephen who drives a Volvo. That's the way my phone book goes, and it's a fuck up. Super Coven, nice one. Public Enemy, Conroy can't stand it. Paddy Conroy can't stand it. Paddy Conroy, I actually feel sorry for the fucking people in there listening to Paddy Conroy thinking that there's even the hint is the fucking smallest bit of truth in what he's saying.
John, I'm gonna jump back off. I only jumped on for.
Okay,
for
mate. Thanks for speaking to Tony there.
Yeah, no worries, John.
Yeah,
I'll
okay,
catch
mate.
up with you. I've got to get hold of you a bit later, so I'll catch up with you in a couple of hours.
Okay, mate. I'll be busy today, Steve. But just send us a voice note or something, right?
Yeah, I will do. John, all the best. Catch
care,
you later.
Steve.
Tony Meehan, big up Tony Meehan. If Mug can drop his link in the channel, we'll subscribe to Tony Meehan.
On you go, my man. Good man, Steve.
Cheers, John. Speak to you in a bit, buddy.
Okay, pal. He's some boy, isn't he? He's. Listen, I've got to give the official topic talk, Steve. Right? If he's got your back, he's got your back. Something. Carol, just chill out, mate. Carol, a different breed. He's getting. Oh, you're some boy, man. You like to jump on, Carol? Come on, jump on. Listen, chill it. You can take a chill pill. Just jump on. This is where we diffuse the situation. We just diffuse the situation. Jump on, Carl. Click that link there. Yeah. Keep your camera off, mate. I'm looking for these fucking see these comments. How can you increase the text size? I need a new pair of glasses, man. Carol Brownie. Yes, humble dry. I like Decker, but if he has done wrong, bad stuff to kids, then this will change. But until then, hope you're well, bud. Yeah, mate. Let's just say, well, I'll tell you what. I'm quite sure everybody can read between the lines or something, yeah. I'm quite sure everybody can. So I've got a wee short small video here. Where the fuck is it now? Where is it? Videos. Shorts? Was it a short or was it a long one? Oh dear. Maybe it was a short, was it? That one.
Floating around about this 11-year-old girl. Her name was Amy. 3 days before the 11-year-old made the allegation. Not rape, but of inciting masturbation. I'm not a paedophile. I'm not a sex offender. Normally paedophiles have a long history of offences. This was a one-off offence. It was at this moment that he...
So, mate, I can tell Carol, sorry, mate. Carol, okay, Kate, I've got two Carols in the chat, so I'm just got to stick to it. So, Carol, okay, mate. Decker's 55-page acro is on this channel, pal. Okay. That is his acro. Shows your face, buddy. In the background, mate. Shows your face, pal. Okay. Carol Walker, mate, you ready?
All good. I'm taking it stinking in your chat.
Who's taking it stinking, mate? I can't. See chats. I don't read them all the time. Hang on. Carol, come in, mate. Hang on 2 seconds, pal. Carol, you've pressed something in the back, mate. Add to stream. That's you. You there, Carol? Speak. Have a wee chat. A wee test of your mic. Carol. Hang on, mate. Just in case it's no Carol, I'm just going to put this up right so we can cover our names. Carol, make sure your wee mic. I don't know what you're using. Are you through your phone? Okay, I'll work it out. So what's happening, mate? What's happening in the chat?
Right. I left you a thing the other day on your thing saying, right, my exact thing was, why does Video Craig and Danny Christie get a pass? Both of them have been convicted for hitting women. Video Craig bit a woman, she lost it. Like, why does Decker heck? And everybody's like, you're a Decker fan. I hate anybody who abuses women or children. Like, I don't say I'll give him a pass because he admitted to it, or it's all right because he said that. See if you had a mate who battered his wife and he came out of jail and he says, oh, it's all right, I admitted it in jail, would you give him a pass?
Aye. If you're owning it, aye.
If you're owning up to it, but...
Well, mate, listen, calm down, right? Just calm down, right? So we'll answer the first bit of your question, right? I never signed up to protect women and children, okay? What I did do was make up a Facebook page one day and think, I'm going to teach that some bastard manners for blocking me, okay? And then it all started rolling in. Now, it didn't start with he gave me a slap in the head first or a kicking first. It started with grape. And a serious amount of fucking allegations of grape. That much so that I'm fucking hooked to it now because I can't walk away because of the sheer obstruction and destruction that he's caused. Right? So, as in regards to giving Danny Christie and these guys a pass, I couldn't give a fuck about Danny Christie. I couldn't give a fuck about Dodgy Dave, yeah? I'm here about fucking kids getting fucking raped and kids cunts making a fucking idiot of it, right? That's what I'm talking about. You don't know the fucking length of this as went, and I don't want you to know the length of it either, because nobody needs to fucking know it. Okay, but if you're going to try and get me to compare beside Danny Christie, beside Decker Hagen, that you're pissing in the fucking wrong direction, mate, because there's no giving a fuck about a pass. I'll give them a pass all day, every fucking day, because I don't even come a slightest bit close to it. Does that answer that? Fuck off. Fucking idiot. Take no fucking prisoners at this game, man. They dare give him a fucking pass. You got your fucking shot. Anybody that's fucking giving them a pass, you want to go up and doing the fucking thing to every fucking traveller in this fucking country because they've skidded at their wife or something and just pull them out. I wouldn't be fucking wise. How's that for a fucking thing? And the thing about Video Craig isn't even close to the fucking truth. Fuck off. And that's why I'm fucking here. And that's why I'm fucking, I've no change. And that's why, when you go, mate, I'll block you for the stream. When you go. No. It's people that fucking, exactly, Alex. There's literally no fucking comparison between three mention. Heggie stands alone and is the most vindictive, dangerous, fucking psychopathic man I've ever came across. Thank you, mate. Fucking nuts. I ain't fucking... It's like a red rag to a bill, mate. Somebody saying that to me because I'm thinking, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? So because I've owned up to it, you give him a pass. I'm fucking no out here saying I'm fucking God. I'm no Jesus. I'm a fuck's sake. Video Craig, I have a police caution from 15 years ago. Never hit an ex, never bit anyone's face. I know, mate. Listen, I know that, but I just can't be fucked explain it to them all day, every day. There's no comparison. As Alex Kearney said, there's no comparison to fucking you, Danny, and fucking Decca fucking Heggie. You couldn't even get fucking close, supposing you were going out and fucking battering somebody every time you stood on a stage, Craig. You couldn't even get close to his. So there you go, mate. If you're getting it stinking in my fucking eye, it's because you're getting it for people that's been here from the very, very beginning and know the extent of them. You maybe even get families in these comments listening to what you're just trying to put in a comparison there. Wow. Please, mate. Heggie will never ever admit anything. This proves beyond doubt he is incapable of change. It's not in him, and worse, that he doesn't even want to try. He's happy being who he is. It suits him. Correct, Alec. Correct. You know what I mean? It's like, because Danny Christie's fucking hit his mum, I have to then compare him with fucking Decca Heggie, man. Wisen the fuck up. Wisen the fuck up, man. Mate, Carol, I was trying to tell you, mate. I was trying to tell you to speak. That boy there, mate. I wish people would fucking think before they speak when they come in and say things like that, man. You see it now, Carol? The link's there, mate. Hang on.
Backstage, yep.
That's you, you're working now. I've got you now, brother. Yeah, the last time your microphone was...
How are you?
All right, your microphone wasn't
mate,
working.
It wasn't. It was the same thing, mate. I don't know what was up, but it was the same, exact same routine, and it's working now, like, but I done the same routine last time.
Mate, that's sorry, I just get wind up. Shows your face, Brian, please. In the background.
Aye. Here, mate, stay out there.
Hang on a second. A second, Carol. Brian Cockerill, shows your face in the background. Because if no, that's somebody running with a pink profile badge with a C saying calling us Brian Cockerill. So that's not getting on. Bye-bye. Somebody's made up. I've took a screenshot of it.
See that what do you call it? A topic talk, dude. And then fucking Tony coming in thinking that just because he's done a bit of bare knuckle fighting that he gets a pass because he's another one of Decca's little bum licks. It doesn't work like that, Tony. If you're listening, you fucking clown.
Yeah. Oi, listen, I think, right, listen, how's about this for an idea, right? See the amount of how doesn't I'll get somebody in and we can just arrange humble fucking fights so everybody can walk away a humble person, right? Because it's turning into it's madness. It's madness.
Mate,
nobody gets a pass, Carol. You're right. Nobody gets a pass.
No, but mate,
nobody.
That topic talk came on, not knowing who I am, not even knowing my real name, and he came on giving it the large one. And then all of a sudden he added Tony, and then Tony came on and said, I can do what I want, blah, blah, blah. No, Tony, you don't get a pass, mate. Just because you've met the lads and the lads like you and stuff, you don't get a pass. At the end of the day, regardless if you meet the fucking Queen, you're back in Decca, you're Decca's friend. Nobody wants you around if that's the case. You know what I mean? You don't get a pass because you've done a bit of bare knuckle boxing. You know what I mean? No one gives a fuck, mate. I've had 65, near 70 fights, and I wouldn't even get a pass if I was to support Decca.
No, mate. Listen,
nobody like.
And I know you're not having
Nobody-
a direct dig at Tony there, but I know exactly what you're meaning. Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck who they are. I don't give a fuck how hard a man they are. Nobody's getting
Exactly,
a pass
mate.
for promoting Decker. Nobody.
No one's getting a pass, mate. Even if they could be one of the top gunmen in Belfast, no one's getting a pass. You could have fucking Johnny Mad Dog at Ursa beside you. He wouldn't even get a pass, mate. He'd probably get one put inside of his head as well. And not their topic talk, mate. If I find out who he is, I'll be landing on his door and he'll be getting a crack. He'll be looking like that with no teeth.
Well, I'll. He's all right. Like he's jumped to Tony.
Stephen.
I know what you're saying. I know.
Coming on there, winding me up, mate, in the morning time. You know what I mean?
Right here, Steve's coming on now. You can have a wee talk nicely together. There's Steve. Yeah, right, Steve. Right,
Good
there's
morning.
Carol now. You can maybe you and Carol can maybe kind of speak now rather than.
Who's that, John? Is that Carol Curtis?
No,
it's
Carol
it's-
above you. You're talking to Carol Walker above you there with the green
Oh,
bag.
Yeah, the one.
Walker.
Yeah, I think
you
the
doing?
one who helps run the 3D Fight Club. But what you all go to?
I've never been to the 3D, but what have I done to
Well-
upset you?
You haven't done nothing to upset me. You just come on. I think you wrote in the chat something about telling me to shut my mouth or something.
I was on about a channel W477 something.
You didn't. Yeah. If there's a person in here called Brindle, and they will even they'll even confirm it that you put at a different breed. Shut your mouth.
Right, I'm sure Steve can apologise for that this morning, and we can. But he's right. He's right. He's what he's saying, Steve. Right now, if Tony, let's say for example, Tony Meehan was going to promote Decker in a good light, Tony doesn't get a free pass. Nobody does. When did
No, I understand.
And you know that.
I agree with you, John.
Yeah.
You know,
I know,
anybody
I'm not
that
saying that he
wants
is,
to
but if
promote,
it was,
you know,
nobody
that
gets
sort
that.
of a person,
Nobody.
somebody promoting that sort of a person, and they know full well, then you know, I've got to agree because that's the way that I feel.
But you came on disagreeing.
Because he's not involved with Decker, and people saying he was.
He is. He just admitted it. Tony came on himself and just said what he does and what he doesn't do is up to himself, and he basically admitted it. He couldn't put it in more black and white, mate.
He just come in hot-headed. That's all. I'm sorry, you know, but he just come in hot-headed. That's all. But deep down, he will probably tell you personally himself. You know, he don't want to get involved with anything drama, you know, that sort of side to YouTube.
No, but whenever John, whenever he was asked about the Decker situation, he jumped on and said, "Yeah, and what's it got to do with anyone with what I do?" So basically, what he's saying is, "Yeah, he is, and what's it got to do with anyone?" You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's not like he's coming in and he's like saying, "No, I'm not doing fuck all to do with that. It's fuck all to do with me." What he's come in and said is, "Yeah, basically I do speak to him. I'm backing him. It's got no one else's fucking business." That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, he did come in hot-headed. I mean, I know true.
He is fully aware of what Eggy is.
He wouldn't back somebody knowing full well what he was. And
well, I'll have to beg to differ. Because Tony Meehan has been around on this scene for a long time.
Even I found the proof, you know, and I changed. So, you know, if
what are you saying there, Karma? Sorry, mate.
Carl.
Tony Meehan has been around on this scene for a long time, and he knows exactly the allegations against Decker. He's been around on Cesspit since Cesspit started, and I'm talking with no teeth because I can't find my teeth. So this bullshit. That he can say what he wants. If he says he wants to, he can talk to who he wants. Of course he can. Not a problem. But when you know what them allegations against that person are, and you say you've been in communication with him a few times, if your first comment is not, are these allegations true? Are you prepared to put your acca up there? Are you prepared to send me it privately? And the next thing isn't, then fuck off. When you've got kids, which he has, I'm sure he has, I'm sure he's got kids because I've seen him mention it before, that if you've got a fucking daughter and you're going to have private conversations with a man with an allegation of enticing masturbation, on his fucking record, and then you're going to come in here and start saying, you don't tell me who I talk to. No, I don't. And you don't tell me what I can say. And no, you don't come in here trying to Billy Big Balls it because you've done a couple of bare knuckle fucking white collar fights. So, Tony, fuck off. If you're not going to fucking him, fuck off. Simple. Because if you get another BKFC fucking fight, I can guarantee you, if you do anything with that dirty bastard boils my piss that people keep going on about. Oh, what about Danny? What about Craig? Is Danny Christie a present threat to women and kids? Honest question to anybody in chat. Do they believe Danny Christie, who was in a relationship, who's got a fucking contract with BKFC, that can work or not work at his pleasure just to get some more pennies in bank? Craig, who's concentrated on his channel, who's got off drugs, who's got off drink, and is now moving in a different direction. Does anybody in the chat think that he's a present danger to women and children? No. Decker lying about his acro, got an allegation of a sexual masturbation with an 11-year, inciting masturbation with an 11-year-old. Ripping his fucking followers off, ripping his subscribers off. Does anyone in the chat not think he's a danger to women and children and people with any fucking money in bank? So I've come on for my rant. I'm going to start and try and find my fucking teeth again. So fuck off.
Karma, I'm with you on that. I mean, I agree with what Karma said. I agree.
No, but Karma knows the true extent of it. Let's be honest.
I mean, if you're going to get involved with somebody knowing full well what they are, then, you know, so be it.
Yeah, exactly. There's no prisoners, mate. No prisoners. And for every bare knuckle fucking boxer that wants to fight me, I'll fucking find 10 that'll match them. It doesn't matter to me. I've got more backing in this fucking YouTube and out within it than anybody will ever fucking realise. So,
no, I must admit, no, knowing full well what he is, what he's done, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if anybody's going to get involved with him, it's on their own shoulders. Karma's absolutely 100% bang on with what he said there.
Mate, listen, I do believe in fucking bad karma. Yeah, if I ever came knocking on your fucking door and you'll be like, wow, later on in life, it's like, it's all right as long as it's not your kids. That's basically what everybody's fucking that's promoting them can, that if they know the full extent of it, oh, well, you know what, I've been accused of maybe fucking sending a dick picture or whatever, but it's no comparison. Danny Christie's no a fucking risk to his women and kids. No, he's no. That's how he's got his fucking kids living with him. Video Craig, something that happened fucking 15 years ago, and they're still not even close to the truth, but I'm fed up with explaining it to people.
Just for the chat, as soon as I figured out and worked out exactly the truth, what Decker was, I turned my back on him and fucking run a million miles away. It wasn't my fault that I was manipulated. But I worked out the truth. I found the truth. I seek the truth. I embraced the truth. And I ran a million miles away when my brain and heart told me what the truth was. So I hope that answers some of your questions, saying I'm a turncoat. Of course I'm a turncoat. You know, when the truth's told to me, I am a turncoat. I admit I put my hands up. Yes, because he was telling me lies.
Carol, there's the link again, mate, if your batteries... I want to know why you told me to fuck off. I'll tell you what, we'll get Steve and Carol in the next fight card. I'm only joking, Steve. You're in the day with that, mate. And who's this? Somebody's there with a fucking C. Where did I see it? Jackie Saunders. Carol Curtis, yeah. That's the real Steve, I think. Way he's going on about Tony Meehan. Steve is still in cahoots with DH behind the scenes and will not change my... So Jackie Saunders thinks you're still in cahoots with Decca, Steve?
Think whatever you want, Jackie. Any of you on the internet can think what the hell you like. You know, you believe that. That's not my problem. I'm not going to sit here and sell myself just to change your mind. I know what I'm not doing. I know what I am doing. And it's definitely not being involved with Decca this December. Take it as you will, people, but I've seen the light in December. I turned my back, and I haven't turned back on that path.
Super Coven. Link to the 55 page, genuine Sarah Ackrill, correct, mate. That's the thing. Hang on, here we go.
Can you hear me, Topics?
You're here now. You're there now, mate.
I just want to know. Brindle even said you jumped into the chat right away and said, "Yo, a different breed. Keep your nose out of it, or something like shut the fuck up, or else keep your nose out of it, or else keep Tony's name out of your mouth, or something like that. Something really smart." You said something real crafty was something over a keyboard. Something over a keyboard would say. You know what I mean? Why?
I've had
Why?
I've had a look back on the comments, and I was just trying to. I just had it a second ago, but I can't. I think it was something similar to, will people keep Tony's name out of their mouth? I think that's what it is. For that, I apologise, Carl. I should never have
Artistic man, how you doing, mate? You okay? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, no harm, mate. But I've met Tony numerous times working for the 3D Fight Club. I work for them. I match the fighters, and I've met it personally. Don't get me wrong. I know the situations, but I don't have any good light or bad. I'm in the in between with 21 good terms, one bad turns. He's done stuff what I don't like, and he's done stuff what I do like. But
Yeah.
one thing what I do know, if he's backing Decker or helping Decker build the channel or promoting Decker or else even mentioning Decker's name in a good light, then he don't belong on YouTube, just like Decker don't belong on YouTube.
Exactly. Decker doesn't belong on any fucking social media platform.
Carl,
And if you knew the true extent of it, it even went up more.
I hope to God he's having nothing to do with him, you know.
Well, at the end of the day, no harm, mate. But if you look back, when John asked him, he came on and he says, and he basically, John put it straight to him and he came on and he said that even if I am, what's it got to do with anyone else? But if you were getting accused of backing a dirty nonce, then you'd obviously come on and say, "Am I fuck?" and you defend yourself to the balls. But he's came on and said, "Even if I am, so what?" You know what I mean? So what that basically tells you he is. And there's 4 or 5 people in the chat what says that they've seen him writing on his Instagram and also writing on his YouTube, supporting him and giving them the go ahead.
All right. Okay. Well,
you know, so if at the end of the day,
Tony Meehan knows me personally as well. There's no fucking free passes.
Yeah, Johnny, me too, John. Don't forget he's fought on the 3D, and I've been there, and I've been standing beside him ringside, and you know, we've all been together. We've all, you know, it's all been one big team. But at the end of the day, mate, like I stood beside him. I've got him matched up with his last couple of fights. But at the end of the day, if he's gonna go on down that other road, whatever fucking dirty little nonce, then you know he can stay down that road. And if he has a problem with it, I'm sure we can sort things out.
Tony, you're another grapist. You don't belong in this chat. Somebody
block that. I've got to jump off, John.
Somebody block Big Tony Burkett road trips.
If I've said anything out of order, but I
get away your paid membership, Tony. You little Yorkshire beast. When you go, be off with you, Tony Burkett. You're another one that's got 2 underagers hanging on you that you'll not prove your innocence. Yeah, and you went and put fucking voice notes out of that guy. And you blew something up, which was going to work in our favour. Anyway, fuck off, Tony.
That lad Connor Smart, who's Carl fought, mate. If you want to come into private messages on anything, I can show you a million fucking trophies, medals, videos, etc. of my fights and of what I've won and the titles I've won. Probably more than you've even probably watched, mate, to be honest with you. So you don't even know who I am from Adam. So what the fuck are you on about, you clown?
Same as Big Tony Burkett road trip. Do you see it there? Tony is right. It's his life. What has it got to do with you stalkers? Burkett.
Well, I've got to jump off, but I do apologise if I've said anything out of order towards you.
All right, Topics. Have a good day, mate. Take care of me.
You take it easy.
All right, bud.
So, Carol, what's your plans, mate? Are you got to be? What's happening at free? Can you talk about the message Dougie got? Or are you not allowed to talk about it regarding his fucking Dickie and his fucking wee girl?
Well, as you know, there's plenty of ears and eyes on this, on probably on your channel mainly too, John. To be honest, mate, because of what's all going on. But yeah, certain things I can answer, mate. If you've anything to fire away.
Right. So Decker was saying that it was a made-up profile on Dougie's. Was it his Instagram when Decker's mentioned Dougie's kids?
Aye.
So was it confirmed? Because Dougie said it was confirmed to be from Decker's account. That's the kind of question I was.
If Dougie said it's confirmed to be from his account, it must be confirmed, then, mate, because Doug and that there, he basically has everything regarding Decker due from the DC fight. You know what I mean? Like accounts, mobile numbers, email addresses, etc. You know, from setting up the fight and being involved in it. So if he's saying it's confirmed being from his account, then it must be from his account, mate, because I don't see the point in him lying about it. You know what I mean?
No, exactly, mate. I'm just checking it. Somebody's saying how many fights you had, Carol? You've had a few fights, haven't you?
I've about all together, including exhibitions, mate, about 64 to 65.
Fuck's sake.
Boxing, by the way, people, not BKB, boxing.
See, at the end of the day, mate, there's no comparison here, right? You've got Video Craig, they're attacking Video Craig, yeah, for something to happen, yeah. As Karma said, is Video Craig a present threat to women and children? No, he's no. Is Danny Christie a present threat to women and children? No, he's no. You know what I mean? There's no comparison, mate. I don't know how the fuck they can possibly try and compare.
Mate, there's no comparison whatsoever between Danny and Decca. Danny's a lovely lad. To be honest with you, I watched Danny's channel a lot, and he actually gives me a bit of hope some days. You know what I mean? Because he speaks correctly. He words his words right. He seems a nice, decent lad. You know what I mean? And he's got manners and respect. He's not arrogant. He's not ignorant. He's not. He doesn't love himself like that other beast does. You know what I mean? Danny's a nice guy. He comes across a nice guy. You know what I mean? And he presents himself a nice guy as well, especially over YouTube when he doesn't have to. He can come on, not show his face or not speak or not do nothing, and come across and be an idiot. But he doesn't. He comes on and shows himself. From what I respect of him, mate, is that he showed himself from rock bottom, and then now he's showing himself at the top. So he showed everyone on YouTube and people he doesn't even know his whole life journey. You know what I mean? So that just goes to show you what a man he is. Yeah. If you can come on YouTube at your lowest point of life and show people you're at rock bottom, crying, begging for help, and then a year later showing people that you're fighting on the BKFC and that you're living your life at the top levels, from showing your life plan from bottom to top, and showing all these random people that he didn't have to do that, but he done that because he's trying to help, support, and motivate people to do the same thing. You know what I mean? And that's what I respect about him, mate. You know. Well, mate, that's I always said to these guys, right, that was it from. I said, listen, guys, you are backing the wrong horse here. Decker's a fraud. And that would be my first kind of words to him. And they'd be like, yeah, well, who would replace that? And I was pointed to Danny Christie because he did wear his heart on his sleeve. And he said it as it was. He's owned everything he's done. But again, 100%. Decker will contact these idiots on Facebook and everything, right? And they'll know to go and check what he's saying. They take him, the big movie star, to be telling the truth. They come in and start attacking Danny. And then a few months down the line, they're sitting there going, "Oh fuck," you know. That's it, mate. They come on, and then because Dak has had a bit of fame in the past. To be fair, in the past before all this came out, and no one knew nothing about him. He was in the limelight, and people thought he was a bit of a Johnny Big Balls. And to be fair, before all this came out, and no one knew fuck all about him. People was looking up to him because no one knew any different. Do you know what I mean? So. Once the truth came out and people dug deep and found out what he is and what he's all about, they jumped off the Decker bandwagon. Then they jumped on to Danny's bandwagon, which isn't fair, because at the end of the day, you can't just pick and choose like that there, mate. Do you know what I mean? No. People's just chasing the faster dog in my eyes. But to be fair, Danny outnumbers Decker in a million different ways, even with manners, mate, as a man. You know what I mean? Even the way he comes across and the way he speaks, just any sort of way of being a man, Danny outnumbers Decker in a million times.
Carol,
know what I mean?
when I seen Danny going on to James English, I knew where Danny was in his withdrawal process, and it was fucking soul destroying for me to watch it, man, because I knew exactly what he was going through. I'd been there, seen it, done it, and I thought you couldn't. It's at a point where you can't control your voice box, mate. It's everything's all over the fucking place. Your emotions don't know where. If I can sit down, run away, I'll just fucking kill himself. And I could see it, especially when they done the James English one. And I thought, wow, but when you see the change in him,
man, it's unbelievable. The change, even the physical change, John. Do you know with his face, his eyes, his body, his everything, mate, is he's changed massively. He hasn't got that water retention around his face or his neck, and he hasn't got the puffy eyes, and he looks fresh as a daisy. And Deck only shows people that when he's on top form. So say for example, you're in a shit place, you're in a shit situation, and you're looking horrible. He doesn't come on and he doesn't show people all that there because he's out for an ego boost. He lives off people boosting him. So without anyone boosting him, he can't face it. He hates life. So unless people's on boosting him, telling him how good he is, telling him how big he is, telling him how good of a fighter he is, telling him he has a granite chin, telling him he's unbeatable, he absolutely loves that. He'll come on to YouTube 24/7 and he'll suck all them vibes in, and he'll jump off YouTube with a big smile on his face. Then he'll make a video after the live telling everyone how much he loves him. But whenever you come out with the truth and tell him that he's a rapist, he's a dirty cunt, that he looks like a fucking deformed fucking Russian with no teeth, then he doesn't like that, you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden his live stops. And then he comes on, he makes a video saying, "Oh, sorry guys, my battery died," or "Sorry guys, I had an important phone call there. I was offered to act in Fast and Furious 27." You know what I mean? He's just fake, mate. Everything about the guy's fake, and he needs a good crack in the mouth. But unfortunately, mate, once you do that, or once you even mention that you're going to hit him a crack, he runs away and grasses on you.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you're a fine fucking.
I find a walking aspect.
How are you getting on with that, mate? How are you getting on without speaking about it too much? How are you getting on with the? Is it still standing, this breach or whatever it was you were done with? What's happening with it?
Still standing. I've got I'll send you a photo, mate. I've got a photo. There's a little black box I've had to stick in the motor, and it's a postcode thing where I'm not allowed past this, not allowed in certain districts, as you may say, if you know what sort of district I'm on about. So it's a little black box that I've had to stick in my car, and I'm not allowed in certain districts, and one of them districts being where the guy
is this because of your past, Carol?
This is because of my past record, John, and because I've got firearms offences and been charged with having firearms and stuff. I'm immediate effect.
Were you done under the Counter-Terrorism Act at one point, Carol, for that?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, exactly, mate. That's exact point. So. Basically, when I go back over to Northern Ireland, to Belfast to go see family or whatever, I'm stuck in the customs for 4 or 5 hours, mate, for a chat. Just even if I go see him, say if I was to go today to go see my godmother over in Belfast, the customs would pull me in and have a quick chat with me for 4 hours, wanting to know what I was doing, even though I was only going over for maybe a day or two. So under the Terrorism Act, mate, and under holding guns and ammunition and explosives, because I'm a prolific danger, basically in the past life I lived, which people which people will see coming on Lad Bible. They'll see the truth all on what I've spoke.
I seen you. How long's your? Because I noticed they've only used about 20 minutes at Cullen Maisie's.
That's what they do, mate. So what they've done with my Lad Bible, they've done the same with everyone's. So to do an hour, to do 1.5, 2 hours interview of sitting in that little chair by yourself. You've seen it, and then what to do is to crop it all out and crop out all the bits, all the good important bits, and then all the good exciting bits, and then sometimes the bits mainly the good bits what they need, and they crop it all out, chop it all down, and then put 20 minutes of it all up. So you do like 1.5, 2 hours interview, mate, of telling your whole life story, and then they basically just take the start, the middle, and the ending out and make it all into 20 minutes. So I don't mind I think it was post Christmas, it was just before Christmas, and then I emailed Amber, the woman who works there, and I said, when's mine going to be out? Like, 'cause Billy Moore done his to see him the next day, because me and him were on the same series.
Right.
But with Billy Moore's, he had the night before he was meant to stay in a hotel in London, but he couldn't because of the kids and his family and that. So what they done was they contacted me and asked me would I swap places with Billy because of Billy with the kids. So I did. Right. So me and the missus went down and stayed in London and stayed overnight in the hotel, and then I done my interview at 9:30, my podcast 9:30 in the morning, and then when I was leaving the studio, Billy was coming in to do his, and then Billy added me on Instagram, then we got speaking. So Billy, if you're watching this, mate, he'll tell you all about it, and big hello, and hope you're doing okay, buddy, if you ever pop on and watch this, mate. But yeah, Billy done his just after mine, mate, so me and his will be out around the same time, probably on the same series.
For the people who's joined the chat this morning, Carol, give them a wee bit of your backstory, mate. So again, you've done a wee podcast thing, if you want to call it, a wee live stream with myself and Donna one night.
I done a little podcast with Paul, mate. But you know what that was? That was more of I was working that night, and Dougie told him a bit about me, because he says, who's that big fella with tattoos, etc. And Dougie told him a little bit about me. So he says, if you wouldn't mind if we get a little chat with you. So I said, no problem at all. So for his channel, and I liked him, you know what I mean? He's a nice lad, so I thought it'd help him boost his channel. So he just said I'll do a little podcast. So we done a little fucking hour, a little 1 hour's podcast or whatever it was, but I didn't even get to say what I wanted to say, or I didn't get the word stuff correctly, John, because it was more, I was working that night, and he just pulled me in, and he's like, it's just a quick little podcast, blah, blah, blah. So it was kind of, as you could see in it, I was in my fight t-shirt and a pair of blue tracksuit bottoms and a pair of Nike Airs, you know what I mean? So I wasn't exactly dressed for the occasion, but that was just a quick brush of the scene, mate. But then after his Lad Bible got in touch with Dougie, then got in touch with Paul, then got in touch with a couple of other big podcasters. I think James was one of them. Got in touch with him, and then I had to bring my criminal record, I had to bring my NFAs, my full acro, basically, and I had to bring everything, have all about myself, and I had to produce that to the Lad Bible, and made sure everything I said and was going to say was 100% true, stated in fact, and I had to prove all that there, because they said, listen, Carl, if you're going to go on here and you're going to start, and you say something what you either discriminates or is false information, or else you're tarring someone's name, we can get sued and we can get fined, for like what is it, like if I say something about you it wasn't true, you could ring up and you could sue the fuck out of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right, I'm with you. So keep everything very legal then.
Mate, it's honestly, you should see the studio they had. It was like, I mean, next level. It was next level fucking documentary stuff. Marvin Herbert was on it, you know what I mean? You've seen his probably too as well.
Somebody's saying Super Coven, who's an excellent mate, his content. Super Coven saying, would love to hear about Carol's granddad's story of the Birmingham Six.
Yes, that there is that Super, is that who's Super Coven? Is that anything, Super Coven? Is that anything to do with Emma and Big Brian?
No, mate. Super. I don't know who it is. It's just been a very.
Do you know what it was? Because I had a little chat with with Emma Cockerill and Brian.
Yeah,
One
Emma's
night,
in the chat this morning. Emma's just in here somewhere.
I was in the comments and I'd mentioned to her, I think Brian offered me to go on for a chat about my granddad John. He was in the Birmingham Six. He was one of the men arrested for it. So Emma and Brian said we would want to jump onto the chat and have a conversation about it. So Emma, Brian, Cockerill, if you're watching, big hello from me, guys. Massive respect. Really love your content and keep it up. You're doing amazing.
Yeah, mate. They've been getting massively fucking trolled with certain group, but again, it is what it is.
Mate,
if people wasn't hating, we wouldn't be. Somebody said to me, "How you managed to get 3,000 subs in the last couple of weeks?" Luck. Luck, basically. Any tips on that? No, not really, because if I tipped you off, we'd probably get it wrong. I don't like giving tips because sometimes the fucking horse will not even run. It's just your luck, basically.
Well, here I'll put a point across, mate. Someone just mentioned there that area Decker needs a Lad Bible interview with his acro. Right, this is a good point. The Lad Bible's interested in people with basically interesting characters with interesting backgrounds. Hence why everyone on it is a little bit screwed, has a couple of fucking sandwiches missing from a picnic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So Dak has done movies. He's done BKB. He's done Bare Knuckle. He was the governor at one point, etc., etc. So Lad Bible would like somebody like that on their show, because obviously he was the next Lenny McLean. He was acting in movies. He's a BKB. He done the DC fights. So he's got a bit of a story about him. But the reason he's not, and he hasn't been offered, and he hasn't been asked to be on Lad Bible, is because you have to produce your acro. Yeah, and you have to produce. So exactly. So that's why he isn't on stuff like that, because you have to produce people, your criminal record, your NFAs, your full acro to be able to get onto big massive platforms like that. Hence why.
And let's face it, Decker's never going to, and these guys know exactly what they're looking for. So to produce something that wouldn't be fitting the criteria. So let's say if he took a step down version of his acro with a picture, that wouldn't be a passing. They wouldn't entertain that.
No chance, mate. No. Do you know what I had to do, right? And don't know if Billy would probably have to do it too himself, even though Billy has a big platform on YouTube himself. But I had to. They got in contact with me, the Lad Bible did, and it was a lad called Luke, and he's the producer, or he's the guy who basically looks for people to send to Lad Bible to see if to give them a yes or no. So he got in touch with Dougie and all the lads, and got in touch with a lot of other people, and my name was put forward. And then that Luke guy, he's the one who digs deep into your background and then digs deep into you, see what you're about, and then he said if he thinks you're good enough or thinks you've got a bit of an interesting story, he'll chuck it to Lad Bible, and then their top caster will have a look at it and see if you're worth casting or not. But what you have to do is when he asks you and get in contact with you, he says, listen, we need this, we need that, we need your criminal record, and we also need your NFAs, etc., etc., etc. So you have to produce that a week or two before, and then they have to ring up and do certain phone calls, Clare's Law, Sarah's Law. They have to ring up some stations or wherever it all comes from, to make sure it's produced from the actual building itself. So that's what they have to do with me, mate. Hence why that guy will never get on, because if he's pulling out fake acros and he's pulling out fake paperwork, you know what I mean, and they're going to look in, and it's not going to be out there because it's fake. So that's why the guy will never be on, mate, because if you're pulling out fake stuff, how's it going to be found in the real public domain? You know what I mean?
Yes, I'm with you, mate. I didn't know the dug so deep, mate. I didn't know that. That's good.
Yeah, mate. John, they have to, mate, because it started. Fucking hell.
So you spoke something. All right, his battery's away again. He'll be back. I didn't know that about Lad Bible, guys. So there you go. Interesting. And yeah, there's Alex Kearney there. He's said it many a times. He's got Danny's acro, as have I. Yeah. As they've got mine. At the end of the day, people are not going to go and put your name to people, right? And then for it to come out 3, 4, 5 years later, that was all a lie. It's been an absolute pointless exercise, and people just not got to put their names to things unless they've actually looked at things and seen it for themselves. So, for anybody there, again, I can see why, because the first to kind of approach Decca's got with people with, well, at the end of the day, they're accusing me of these things, but he's done this, and he's done that, and he's done this, and he's done that. And then the people who's just heard Decca's version of events go, fucking hell. Right, and they're calling you? Aye. And then the next thing you've got this all unravelling right in front of you. I just seen Emma Cockerill saying Lee Duffy's Mrs. Carol's been getting attacked with the man in the shed, Paddy Conroy. Guys, where are we with Paddy Conroy? I'll tell you where I am, exactly where I am with him. The people who claim to be looking for the truth are never going to find the truth because it's right there in front of them. Yeah, if you remove Paddy Conroy, he's sitting with the dirtiest fingers in the northeast of England, and I can say that with confidence. He's got dirty fingers, man. And there'll be more to come regarding the things that Paddy has. You know what I mean? What I can't get is he promised people he'd do a lie detector test, and he's went and basically blanked it. And then when you look right back on the history of all these people being named, i.e. like Michael Sayre's been named for the murder of Viv Graham, if you want to look right back and see where that seed was planted and how it's planted, it's absolutely fucking shocking. And that was my turning point in Paddy Conroy when I realised, wait a fucking minute. So I'm glad Paddy was shouting that, was it Fergo's got to be doing a wee documentary or something? I'm glad that maybe Fergo is, because Fergo's not a silly boy, and Fergo will come to the exact same where I got to, because you go through the process of believing him, and then okay, but then when you start, once I took the blinkers off, I was like that. Wow, what the fuck's Paddy Conroy about? Sitting there in that shed, absolutely thrown with jealousy, with a certain family, disowned by his own family, and you think to yourself, wow, you're just sitting there in a shed. You've got no running hot water. You've got no electricity. You've got friends charging computer batteries up for you. You're running card batteries to fucking your friend's house to charge them up so you can run small lights off of card batteries all week. You're living in the dark ages, and he's absolutely like, he's a bit like Decca, to be honest. He's curdled with guilt. He's like curdled milk. He's just curdled with guilt. He is a supergrass. He is a police informer. And I'll say that. I'll put my name to that. He's a supergrass. They let us there for the House of Commons. He's a supergrass. And he sold his soul many years ago. And he was being handled by the police for many years. That's a fact. It's like, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how people can see through. I mean, I've only fucking kind of looked into the thing maybe in the last 6 months, but people that's known the full story all this time, I don't know how they've not seen past it. But then again, he's sitting with thousands of people on his block list who can't comment, who know the truth. Yeah, Paddy Conroy's got a lot to speak of, man. Paddy Conroy is a bad. Paddy Conroy's only saving grace is none of us are grasses. That's his only saving grace at here. That's his only saving grace. You any idea how many times he's been on the fucking phone to the police, guys? Honestly, complaining about this, that, and the next thing on social media. He's just another Decker trying to get folk arrested. Honestly, complaints. But the difference between Paddy and Decker is Paddy will do it, he'll put his name to it and he'll fucking be proud of it. Where Decker doesn't. Decker goes the malicious route. Bad. But yeah, and if Tony Meehan's listening out there, listen, Burkett will be in your inbox. The little Burkett Cyclops swine that he is, okay? But he's been chased out of every camp, and I mean every single camp, Tony, i.e. Paddy's camp, i.e. the S family's camp. Every camp he's been in, he's been chased. So he has. At the end of the day, he's got no morals whatsoever. And Paddy Conroy said he's got 2 underage girls' grapes on his acronym. And one thing I can tell you is he admitted to Decca Heggie that he had, because his recordings out on this internet, Tony Burkett admits that he's got 2 grapes. But his way was it, but girls lie, don't they? So he's admitted that he's got at least 2. And the Paddy Conroy claims to know the families, and they were underage girl. I don't know what part of that is true. But there's one thing Paddy Conroy has been right with, and he is a super ponce. Super ponce. He's an absolute scumbag. And I don't know why he's went and chopped that guy's messages up and put them out there on the internet. Why did you not put them on your own channel, Tony, when you chopped Simon's messages up? Why did you not put them on your own channel? At the end of the day, stay out my chat, yeah, you little stalking freak. Because at the end of the day, Tony, everybody's blocked for years on your super chat. What is it? How many members you got? Can you tell me again? Know what I mean, guys? Absolute shocking. Absolute shocking. Burkett. Tony Burkett. We put him on. Listen, anybody can check these things as well. If you go into Spartans Bare Knuckle fight page on Facebook, and asking a post how many lassies when Tony was working with Decca, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's still helping him somewhere along the lines, know that. Because at the end of the day, why not just put them out in your own? Why did you put them into Exposure, didn't you? And Exposure put the voice notes out, Tony. Why did you not put them in your own channel? Where you know what, to show the other ones that you're still trying to make an impression in other people's camps. You're trying to be in everybody's camps, mate. That's the problem with you, Tony. And you've been getting fun out left, right, and centre. You know what I mean? I'll tell you, Tony, see if you come back in my chat, right? I'm going to put every single thing out, every single email, and everything. Remember the ones to DC owns and everything you were sending? Remember? I'll put everything out. Right now, and guys, what he's doing out about as well, he went in the background, he sent a video to folk right at Video Craig's house, right? He sent a video trying to act smart, and it backfired. And then he done one walking around about where Steve Rafe stays, try to impress the other camp, right? The other camp, like try to impress him. But in the same scene in the background, obviously I've let the other camp know by putting a voice note out there of Burkett's boasting up at lorries through their houses. You know what I mean? Couldn't write this shit. Super Coven, they're always in the background causing trouble. They are so, mate. All the time. All the time. And that's all that, and this is why they do it, try to create the trouble. I mean, there's been stuff there, I've been sent a lot of stuff there in the last couple of days, which I'm going to have a few people have a wee look at. Yeah, some guy repairs PCs as well. Interesting. Yeah. And yes, we're also the ex-undercover drugs cop. There's things getting looked into there as well, because at the end of the day, if anybody's been breaching any, I don't know, police computers or whatever, well, again, that'll be coming out at some point as well. Again, it'll be going to the people that the information belongs to. And if that's the case, well, that is what it is. It is what it is. You all right, Emma? You want to come on and explain it for 2 minutes? Emma, what's been happening here with the man in the shed? You want to? In fact, what I can do is I can WhatsApp you link. Is that the one for? That's the one for yesterday. I'm looking for the one for today. I think it's that one now. Copy. And I'll just go to WhatsApp it. There you go. I've sent it in the WhatsApp, pal. We've also got, what do you call him? The narrative destroyer, saying he's going to be going to the police. Well, dear. I'm going to the what was it he said? Wait, I'll tell you exactly what he said. So wait a minute. You can sit there and make half a dozen videos on Big Brian, yeah? Gin Brian, Gin Emma, yeah? I don't care about me, mate. I love you promoting me, yeah? That's why my subs are fucking flying through the roof, okay? In case you haven't noticed, yeah? In case you haven't noticed, like, the bad promotion, and then people come across and they hear the likes of Alex and that on the panels and everything, who have all tried to get us to fall out with, doesn't happen. That's what, and then they go, oh, wait a minute, something not right here. There's a lovely Emma coming on.
Hi,
hello,
John.
pal.
Hi, you all right?
Yeah. So what's been happening, pal?
Just feel so sorry for her, John. I got up today and there was a lot of messages from her, and she's absolutely gutted. He's actually tagged her into a clip of Brian and Video Craig calling Lee, and Carol's like saying, look, Paddy, I've heard you call Lee loads of times and stuff. He's bringing up stuff about.
Hello, Emma. Your sound's away, hen. Yeah, lad, it's fine.
Are you there?
Yeah. You're back.
Yeah. So he's calling her a CUNT and everything, and I feel so sorry for her. I mean, that's the mother of Lee's kids, and he's attacking her. He's got a Daniel Bell. The rest of them are all at her. There's someone called Rebellion who she's asking who it is because to mentioning Lee was working for him. One thing about Lee Duffy, he never grasped anybody. Do you know what I mean? But to think that they've actually tagged a woman in a post to attack her like they are, and Carol will hold her own, and she's like, it's still going on now. It's on his community page. Yeah, it's really disgusting. He's saying, watch the video, you stupid CUNT and all that. Talk to her like that.
Wow. But again, this is what right now. I'm not glad that this has happened to Carol, but a few weeks ago when I spoke to her and I was trying to bring peace, I said to her, "Can just watch Paddy Conroy, just watch him," and she can, and I've got to be fair. She did say, "I have known him from the 80s, and I liked him back then."
Yeah,
and that was that. I said, "Just watch because he'll turn on a dime."
yeah,
and why? There you go.
Yeah, you were spot on. You were absolutely spot on. Carol's always said to me, "Oh, he's always been great with me, and I knew Lee in the past, and this, that, and the other." So Carol's never had a word to say.
There's a lovely Carol in this morning. Hello, Carol. That's a nice.
Are you, Carol? Are you all right?
I am, yes. I'm very surprised at the developments this morning. Like, I seen it was tagged in a post, and it's Video Craig's, and it's Carol. Brian Cockerill's calling Lee a bully. I'm like, right. So I goes on. I'm like, made a few comments. He's watch the video. I'm like, hang on. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You're guilty of that, Paddy. You call me a bully. I've heard you. I've heard you call me crooked. Now he's going on about this story, right, of Russian roulette. So I'm going to tell you what happened and tell you why Paddy is lying. Lying. Before I even knew Brian and Emma Cockerill, I was talking to Paddy Conroy publicly. You've heard me mention it on the live.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him about the Doyles. everything okay. I've never had crossed words with him. I've seen what he said on YouTube about Lee, but to be honest, it's mild compared to what a lot of people say. And I'd have no life if I replied to everything. And I live in the real world. I accept the reality of things. I'm no Anna Connolly. Oh, my boy wouldn't do this and my boy wouldn't do that. I live in the real world. He's going on about this Russian roulette, so I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. These were the stairs in the flats. They're playing Russian roulette. Everybody's off their head on it. So I'm telling Paddy that the only time I'd met the Sears was under these circumstances. Now it's turned into there was smoking crack. Never seen Lee smoke crack in my life. I wouldn't sit there while he was doing it. And to be honest, that night was the first time I'd ever done ecstasy in my life. And what happened is ingrained in my mind because of the circumstances of what happened. I'll never forget it. Anyway, it was in Mannion Court Flats. Paddy's turned into it being everybody on crack and sat in my front room while all this Russian roulette was going on. This is a conversation I told him. He's gone on to repeat something I've told him and changed the facts.
Wow.
Changed the facts. And it's like, but you told me he was a crackhead. I've never spoke to Lee like that to Paddy. I've said to Paddy, yes, I know Lee don't smoke crack. Not in front of me, not in my house. You're changing the circumstances of something that happened in Mannion Court Flats a few months before Lee died, and you're changing it from crack to ecstasy. It doesn't matter what they were on. What happened that night was bad enough. But you're changing the facts. And that story you're telling, Paddy, came from me. I know what I told you. So why are you repeating changing ecstasy to crack and it happened in my house?
But you can see now, Carol, what Paddy does, right? Paddy's done this for over, and I know a few weeks ago you were saying, Ken, you've always thought he was all right, but I said, Carol, he's a bad liar, and the things that he's twisted and added to the things, and now you've found out just how bad that is.
The thing is, right, I have all these letters here. Lee respected Paddy. He thought he was hilarious. He goes on about his escape from the prison van on the A19, about when they were celled up, how they were two of a kind, into the green. He liked Paddy. He always spoke well of Paddy. What do you call it? Juff and Jimmy Murray. Jimmy Murray was a big name in Middlesbrough. He's only been gone a few years. They got on well with Paddy.
Big up the Murrays. I'm a Murray.
I respect either people like people or they don't. I don't get involved. But Paddy had no reason to turn on me like this. And I can choose my friends. He's having a go at me because I'm friends with the Cockerills.
He's giving it all that big going on about my weight and stuff, calling me Big Emma and stuff. And
what he needs to remember, he's sitting in there with not one wife away, but two wives away now. He's not going. That's why his wives have left him. Yeah, one because of the child pornography, where Maureen got a bloody interdict to him. He couldn't see the kids. He's not allowed to see the grandkids. He said that the grandkids are getting a welfare check because of what he's doing online. It's not to do with that. It's because one of his relations is meant to be tanning houses and the neighbours are kicking up a stink. It's not to do with Paddy Conroy. It's but the house is getting broken into in Scotchy.
You all know, Emma, you know, Humble, you know. I've never taken sides. I've only ever said, I'm not getting into that with Paddy because Lee liked Paddy and I've gone what he said. But
I wonder what Lee would think, Carol. Carol, I wonder what Lee would think now if he knew. I wonder what Lee would think now if he knew Paddy was a supergrass when he escaped for that fucking prison van.
I know.
He'd be furious at the way he's
he fell out with his best friend. He fell out with his best friend for turning Queen's evidence.
I know he did. I know.
Dale Henderson at Henderson Than in Middlesbrough was Lee Duffy's best mate. Lee looked up to him. He wanted to be like him. He lives in the Avenue. He was one of the first to get rock like he wanted to be Dale. He modelled himself on Dale Henderson Than. He's married to one of the Maloneys from Middlesbrough. But Dale went Queen's evidence. So both in prison. Lee sat there. Dale comes back from court and Lee's like, fucking hell, Dale, they're calling you grass, Queen's evidence, all this. I've got him told. It was his best mate. His best mate. And he went, I've gone Queen's evidence. I've got a choice. My wife said she'll leave me. I've got 4 kids. If I go to jail for a long term, she's leaving. I've gone Queen's evidence. They never spoke after that day. They never spoke. Lee was heartbroken. Absolutely heartbroken. And that was his best mate. You know what? Like Lee. And that rebellion, whose rebellion won? You see, when you get me, Carol, on, you know it's me. Who's this rebellion one that jumped on that post this morning saying Lee was a grass to Malum and someone called Glocky told him? Well, it can't be the Glocky I know, because Glocky wouldn't talk like that about Lee. And Lee Duffy in the pocket of a copper. Do you live in fucking Alice in Wonderland?
I don't know who to be honest, I think I've maybe seen it somewhere, Carol. Guys, for anybody just tuning in, Carol Duffy is, well, I'm going to call Carol Edwards.
Obviously, people are going to talk to Paddy. They've come on here. It's only the second time I've come on live. It's because I'm annoyed this morning. I really am annoyed.
You'll notice, Carol, that most of the people that Conroy's blocked is the people coming out of our chat. And as you've seen with Brian's live, a couple of lives we've done, at the end of the day, Paddy's been out as a supergrass, right? And I told him if he tries to put me in court, I will subpoena his ex-wife Maureen's interdicting everything that he got out in the kids. Yeah, that's a fact. Because he's out there calling me a liar. Then he wants me to put the evidence out there, and then knowing fine, I can't then use that in my defence. He thinks he's clever, but he's not clever enough.
I don't know what he expected to happen this morning by that. Was I supposed to jump on and go, oh, Brian Cockerill's calling Lee Duffy a liar, a bully? Oh, no, I can't have that. Oh, I'll have to jump on and do that. Don't call me Anna Connolly. She's the one that sits there, my babe wouldn't do no wrong. You know what I mean? I live in the real world. I know what Lee was. I know what he was capable of. I know what he thought at the beginning, what he wasn't going to do, how things change, and I know how it ended up. I live under no illusions. So you can't hurt me. You can't hurt me. The trolls, when they come on the inboxes with all the vile stuff, they can't hurt me because I live in the real world. But the message to Paddy Conroy and anybody who's following him, you start trolling me for speaking the truth and speak my mind to Paddy. I tell you what, you're nothing but sidekicks. If Paddy wants to speak to me, he can talk to me face to face or mouth to mouth on fucking YouTube for all I care. But I tell you what, keep your sidekicks in line, Paddy, because I'm not putting up with it. I'm not putting up with it. I'll jump on your lives, and if you want to hide me, well, that says you're a coward.
See, this is the thing as well,
Be a man. I'm only a woman. 5'4", little friend on my own. Be a man. If you've got something to say to me, and don't use your foul mouth. You're talking to a woman here. So, like, when you want to do it right. Let's get the facts out.
John,
don't twist it. If I put you right about the story I've told you, don't tell me I'm wrong.
John, he's bringing 2 seconds, Carol. He's bringing that Ray Malum into it now. He was that RoboCop who was in charge of that operation.
Operation that he's no mentioned in.
Operation Lancet, right?
All right,
and he's accused. One of his usual sidekicks has said Lee was on Ray Malum's payroll, this, that, and the other. One thing about Lee Duffy, he never grasped anybody.
But they're saying Lee was actually on the police payroll. Wow.
Yeah, and Lee Duffy never grasped anybody. Everybody in the middle for everybody.
Listen, but we're off. He's forgetting the main thing. Yeah, the guy's dead as well. I mean, how can Paddy, who somebody thought was brilliant, then turn around and say, when this is Paddy covering his own dirty secrets? Paddy is a supergrass. Patrick James Conroy is a supergrass. I'll put my name to it. I'll put my name to it, Paddy, and I'm going to put my name to it even further at the end of the month. I'm quite sure. I just wanted to point that out, Paddy. The way you're speaking to women. Now, everybody, if a woman comes on and calls you all the bastards cunts that the day, they can get it back, right? But if somebody's coming on, like Carol, come on there and speak about manners, you don't deserve to get spoken back to like shit.
He called me to it by putting my name on. What did you want me to do? Say, oh, I'm going to get up the Cockerells now. They call Lee Duffy a bully. Well, I'd be fighting half the town, wouldn't I?
Aye.
I'd be fighting half of the northeast. You know what I mean? Anybody at the top of their profession to do with the criminal underworld has got there by intimidation and bullying. There's no other way to get there. I'm sorry. You don't shake hands and say, can I take your top?
You need to be shrewd as fuck or you don't get anywhere in it. It's
simple. Yeah. It's like when
stop living in this fantasy world as if everybody's gentleman and that. Yeah, there's a gentleman's side. There was a gentleman's side to Craze and who was vicious. There was a gentleman's side to Lee Duffy and he was vicious. There's a gentleman's side to Brian and he's been vicious. There's a gentleman's side to the Sears and they've been vicious. Accept who they are. Stop painting pretty pictures. Live in the fucking real world. You're not right.
The difference is, Carol, see, when we're out here trying to protect his ex-wife, yeah, the one that's just left him, and we're telling people don't, because she's a lovely woman, right? He's out then attacking Flossie Jock. Flossie Jock's Miss Cookie gets recalled. He's sitting laughing in the shed at the fact Flossie Jock then getting NFA'd on Paddy's allegations. Now she was given the opportunity to charge Paddy, and she said, "No, I'm not charging him." But she could have, and he's still got the cheek and the audacity, just like he's done with Brian, saying that he tried to. I covered that hitting Brian in the head with a hammer on that lie detector in the past. He's a fucking liar.
He is a liar.
An out liar.
He is a liar. I got told by Tommy Harrison himself on the phone about 3 months ago. He told me the full story. He even said he was trying to look at Brian when he came in, even though the guns were pointing to them. That, like, obviously he had a hammer in his hand. He was like trying to nod, and he couldn't. And obviously Brian got whacked by Paddy as soon as he walked through the door. And for him to deny that is absolutely ludicrous. Brian, one thing I want to put straight as well, because there's a few people mentioned it. Brian, when he's told his story in previous books and on previous podcasts, he only thought there was like 10 to 12 people in the house. Obviously, when you're getting attacked at that level with bats, machetes, this, that, and the other, and it with hammers, you're not really counting everybody. It'll be like a blur. I can only think it was horrifying, really. And obviously, he was fighting for his life. So it was only through the phone call with Tommy Harrison, whose house it happened at, that he said to me, "No, there was 14 of them." And that's when he said they were held by gunpoint, the kids, etc. So people are like pulling Brian up on, well, you said there was only 12 in one story. Now he's saying 14. The reason he's saying 14 is because we got told by the man himself. But I know 1,000,000% what state Brian was in after that. I know that he was in a serious way in hospital. He's still got the scars to prove it. And at the end of the day, he got him. If Paddy wasn't involved in it, how come Brian's blood was all over him, and how come he was remanded? Exactly. And how did Brian get him out of the prison? Do you know what I mean? By saying they were sparring. So.
And how did they pass a lie detector test? I mean, we all know it. He's lying. I know. Even a blind man can tell Paddy's lying. I know. with his facial expressions when some of the things. It's the same as, I'll tell you exactly where I am with Anna Connolly. I mean, there's people. I heard Anna on the other night. They're saying that I've said disgusting things about us. At the end of the day, I've only stated what Paddy said. If she doesn't want to believe that, that's fine. There's nothing I can do about that. However, at the end of the day, if she wants to ignore pushing Paddy for his lie detector, well, she's ignoring and getting to the bottom of the truth.
Yeah,
and well, that's what it was all about.
Yeah, and with Anna as well on KRN, I think she stated, "I don't like Brian, but Emma seems okay," or something like that. Now, I've never spoken to Anna, but one thing I will say is she goes on about people lying, saying people have called her and this, that, and the other. I know you wouldn't do that, John.
Exactly. All the things I've said out here, and everybody can hear it. I've not said anything behind the scenes. I'll not say.
I know.
Out the face of it.
I know, but she sits in a live while they're saying on a live, "How do you put lipstick on two pigs?" Referring to Chrissy and I, because Video Craig and Brian had done that thing. How do you go to where them two were the other night and all that on about me and Chrissy? She sits in a chat while Daniel Bell and all the rest of them.
She portrays to be a God-fearing person. I'm sorry.
I know, and they're calling women, and the way that I've been called in that live, and she's then bigged the people up and said, "Hi, how you doing?" and all that. So for me, that's not Christian either.
Well, she's also thinking people like Incognito and that. These people, I can just hang on, Karma, 2 seconds. Oh no, we've got trouble. We've got Karma. Hello, you found your teeth. Please say you found your teeth.
Dun 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 dun.
Karma, what do you think of this new
Wait a minute.
From the man in the shed this morning via Carol? Carol,
that's not the important question. The important question is, have I found my teeth? And the answer is yes. I found them in the washing machine. I found them in the washing machine in that seal. Do you know that seal that goes out window? Not that.
Yeah.
That seal, that seal.
A couple of quid out of that.
They were in there. I think they've shrunk it, Wesh. Anyway, that's all I know.
we tight move, Karma. So what do you think of Carol? She's been getting attacked this morning. Sorry, Carol. When you go, Carol.
I said, but he's still on my podcast at the moment. He's saying he only called me onto it because Brian was calling Lee a bully. The thing is, I have heard podcasting. It is a few months ago where Paddy went, "Oh, Lee Duffy was just a crackhead, and Lee Duffy was a bully." He's forgetting what he's done in the past. It was a few months ago, but I thought, no need for that, Paddy. But I didn't jump on, didn't say anything. You know what I mean? Like I say, I'd be busy forever in a day. But he only called me onto that to tell me about Brian.
And then abuser, what did he call you? Stupid?
Stupid, something.
C-U-N-T.
Stupid cunt. Read it, you listen to the podcast, you stupid cunt. And I went, there's no need for that.
No.
I know exactly what gets said about Lee, you know what I mean? And like I said, listen, it's often been said, and I mentioned it in the new year, as I'm getting manipulated and impressions on me by the couples. If anybody knows me, they know I make my own mind up. I am not influenced by anyone at all.
How did we meet, Carol?
Anna seems to be influenced very highly by Paddy, and it is troubling. It is troubling. But you can't come onto these things when your man's like being on the doors, being a hard man, being killed, and go, oh, but they didn't deserve this, or oh, they weren't a bully. They're all in the same pot. Anybody
How did we meet,
involved
Carol?
in the criminal underworld, eh?
How did we meet?
Because of sharing Laurie Duffy's post.
And that was all, wasn't it? We never came to your house and forced you to do anything.
I'd heard Lee talk about Brian back, obviously, 1991. He was telling me the details of what gone on and what they were going to do. But I never met Brian. And then it was about 2 or 3. It was when I'd been getting loads of trouble off the doors. And funny enough, it was Paddy I was talking to about it, publicly, about the book coming out. And I was talking to him, and I said, look, I'm not happy. He went, don't make much money, don't worry about it. The next morning, I had Shirley Boyle on my inbox for 7 hours. That's the time she was on my inbox for 7 hours while the Doyle was whipping it up on his side. But now Paddy has got recordings of the Doylists. He's taking the Doylist gospel when he was warned before he even met them what they were like. So you're using them. You're using them to fit your own agenda, Paddy, because if not, you'd be treating them with 1,000% suspicion, because I warned you and I told you what we're doing to this family before you had in contact with them. So you went along with that, knowing what they were like, and you're using them for your own agenda now. You're using them because you know what they did. So things weren't bad between me and Paddy. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, I had respect for what Lee thought back in the past, but the way he's going on, and I've tried, Emma, I'm not tried not to get dragged into this.
Yeah.
Even the arguments between Paddy and Brian, and I say, look, I'm not involved. I really don't want to be involved. I've got Lee years ago respecting him. I said, but he's acting like a tit now. I'd really like to stay out of it, and I have. But Paddy's dragged me into it this morning. There was no need for it. You want to tag me, saying Lee Duffy's a bully? Well, tag half the fucking town. Tag the North East. Tag the UK, because there's plenty there. And you've said it out your own mouth, Paddy. I've heard it. If you go back through your backlog of podcasts, because it's in there. You've forgotten about it. But I told him the story about Mannion Court Flats. Crack was not mentioned. I told him it was ecstasy. And it did not happen in my house. It happened in Mannion Court Flats. I can even tell you the door number. And I can tell anybody exactly what happened, because I've repeated the story I've told Brian and Emery. Why, when it leaves my mouth and hits your ears, Paddy Conroy, has it changed? Why, when it's left my mouth, and probably on your inboxes, because you talked about it on inboxes, so you can go back and check. Why has it left my mouth and your ears have heard something different? Because you choose.
Yeah, chooses. Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time, Carol. He's been doing it for a long time.
But he's never done it to me. And I didn't, I'll be honest with you. I'm not naive. I just didn't want to get involved. I didn't expect him to turn like that on me or talk to me like that, because I've always treated him with respect. When I've
you
talked
said
to him
this,
before,
so didn't you, John? You said it happened.
But haven't I said to you over and over, Emma, I really don't want to get involved.
I'm just making a cocktail.
I have friends who have passed away. One of my closest friends, Jimmy Murray, was really good friends with Paddy. You know what I mean? So I really wanted to stay neutral. It's like, you've got your arguments with them. I'm not arguing with no one. The only people I argue with are the Doyles and the little trolls. The only reason I'm on YouTube is because of the Doyles and the trolls. Nothing else. Nothing else. But Paddy, he's gone down this morning in my estimation. In fact, I'm really upset about the way he's gone on. I am. Because it's delusional. Yeah, if you want to call Lee a bully, say it and stand by it. Don't change your story halfway down the line. And how can I argue with anybody calling me a bully?
And it seemed because you weren't listening to him, Carol, and going along to his like tune, it seemed that's when he started calling you a CUNT and different things.
What do you think of this, Karma? Karma, what are you thinking? What are you thinking of Paddy here?
And he's changed it.
Let's see what Karma thinks, Carol.
Karma, what are you thinking?
Judge Karma will pass his decision shortly. Look, it's same old with Paddy. Is your friend as long as you're not friends with somebody who we don't like. If you become friends or you associate with somebody who he doesn't like, then I can give a perfect example. He liked me, then he didn't like me because I asked somebody for some paperwork that he liked. So then I were all sorts of names. And then when Paddy fell out with that person who had asked for paperwork, he was my best friend again. He unblocked me. And then it's just
like the Doyles. Don't the Doyles do that? They've done it with Steve Ray.
Yeah, it's just like being on a roller coaster. 1 minute you're up here, 1 minute you're down there, and then when you reload, you get back onto the roller coaster. Depends who you sat with, or whether he's going to be shouting at you and flicking bogies at you as you're going up and down a roller coaster. Because Paddy falls out with everybody. I don't know anybody other than Bull that he ain't fallen out with. And the only reason he ain't fallen out with Bull is Bull's not against Bull. I don't know the man, but I do know that he's a yes man for Paddy. He must have been. I think during their criminal experiences, I think Paddy were the number one and Paddy were and Bull were his number two or one of them others was. So Paddy still believes he lives in that world.
Yeah, and Paddy was respected very well in the 80s, you know. Are you in the 90s?
Yeah, he was. But he was like, he was doing things. He was putting money back in. I know he was taking a lot out, but he was putting money back in. So he was respected through the grassroots people, wasn't it? People of that area. Yeah. But thing is now, it's like, how can I explain it best? Right, just imagine I've got a band and I have won it in 1970s. I can't keep expecting people to turn up at my concerts because I had a hit in 1970. Yes, but I'm playing everybody else's music, and then I might go halfway through my show and say, "I'm not playing that song now. I know I told you I was going to play that song, but I'm changing this song to another song because I don't like that person. I think I should never have sung that song." He's living in an era when he was respected. And because he's still living in that era, he still believes the Sayers have got any interest in him whatsoever. He's obsessed with the Sayers. He's obsessed with anybody who associates with the Sayers. And for no reason other than he's still living with his one-hit wonder from 1970s.
Yes, you're spot on, Karma.
I always am.
I feel sorry for the likes of Glover, you know, like Davey. Because Brian said he always surrounded himself with like young lads, so they were always very young.
And Glover, you can see he's not the sharpest tool in the box. I'm not getting on at Glover because I know he'll probably still come and chop you up, but he's not the. You can see he could. This is what people do, though, innit? Come on, let's be right.
Manipulate people.
In this kind of world that we're on about, this is people work. They look for weaknesses in people. They look for things that they can use them for. They look to get an hold of you. They look for something that they can throw back at you if you ever decide not to do what they want. And that's how the world. I know it's not a pleasant world, but that is how the world works.
I think Paddy's manipulated them all. I think even Bull, has took a lot on his shoulders over the years for him.
I think Paddy, when he stepped off, he did want to help community. You can see in some of them documentaries and things that you've heard from people who were around that he did just put money back in and he'd try and help people out with council and shit like that. But he ain't got that sway anymore.
As well, didn't he? So you've got to look at the flip side of the coin, haven't you?
But that's if you're living in that kind of world. That's the kind of things that's going to happen. This is when people are bringing up past crimes now and saying that they need resolving, and I've got information. Well, if you've got information, coming on YouTube's not going to sort fuck all, apart from putting them poor families back through grief. Because the majority of them families weren't in that world. They were just had partners that were in that world. And to have your life ended or certain things happen to you, when you live in that world and you know the risks, then that's just part and parcel for it. It's not as if it were a fella walking down the street and somebody's just
It was
random
someone's
flu
family.
who's doing 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's,
And
you're
then I
part of
feel
that world,
sorry for the people.
expected.
I feel sorry for the people he's accusing though, so but it's also must be terrible as well. I mean, it's horrendous for families, but imagine being accused of things that you haven't done, and that's horrendous as well. And you've
I
got
just
to
want to
shout
say
it.
something.
How can
Cookie's
you
got a
win?
channel there. Cookie's channel, right? True Crime with Cookie, right? There's a
Mhm.
video on Cookie's channel. If anybody wants to get to the bottom of the Viv Graham murder, go into Cookie's channel. I'm not even going to tell you what one, but halfway through that video, yeah, it's the closest to the truth that I could see on the internet. And if Anna Connolly and that don't want to listen to that, with maybe a personal vendetta against Stephen Sayers and that's no a problem, right? Because right now things are being ignored by Anna. If she wants to get to the truth, get Paddy on that lie detector test. His refusal is his guilt.
I definitely feel for Anna because she
I
wants.
think Anna's caused herself a lot of heart pain and heartache by trying to resolve this.
Exactly.
He died a long time ago. Nothing's going to bring him back. I understand the need for answers, but you're torturing yourself, pet.
But yeah,
You really
I said this other day on.
It's like when people talk to me about Lee, we're talking 30 years ago. I'm 61 in a couple of weeks. It's half my lifetime ago. You're living in the past. We can discuss these things, but don't make them sound as if this is how
they're
it
going to
is
get
today.
resolved.
This is the
They're
people
not.
we are today. We're not the same people. We've grown up. We've moved on. We're regaling stories from 30 years ago. And sometimes you're getting them off the horse's mouth. Sometimes you're on. But if the horse's mouth comes on and tells you that's wrong, accept it because it's the horse's mouth. They don't seem to want to do that. And we are discussing things from many, many years ago. And it's
And a
like
lot of
people have
it's
got their own agendas and their own narratives to push forward.
a lot of it's ludicrous, well, and then you skip to Starshine and they carry on with Brian, saying that police had actually told her where he knew where her brother's body was and things like that. I mean, Brian, when all that was going on, he was going through 2 major surgeries and he was getting all this told to him in a hospital. And then my church leaders and stuff were getting phone calls, and it's like absolute insanity. And so I've seen the flip side of the other side where people are getting accused, and I feel for the lovely family in Newcastle that are getting loads of things shouted that is absolute ludicrous lies from him in a shed. And I mean, I feel sorry for the families, like you said, Karma. And it's just the knock-on effect of these lies and the delusions that he's coming with is absolutely vile.
He needs controversial content, controversial. Other words, all of us going here, this, that, and the other. He needs a controversial content for his channel.
But what he's doing is he's creating false hope. He's creating hope in people who are still grieving, and they've put that grief to one side, and he's fetching it back up, and he's giving them false hope that it's going to get solved. To anybody who thinks a 30-year-old murder is going to get solved today, with no new information, we aren't the perpetrator walking into a police station, handing over the clothes that they wore on that day, and handing over that weapon that they used on that day, and handing over information that's not in the public domain as to what happened on that day. Nothing is going to happen. All you're going to do to anybody who's getting into this false hope, you're just going to upset your son, you're going to upset your family, you're going to ruin the rest of your life trying to find something out that you're never going to find out unless that person who did it walks in a police station. He does. This is what upsets me most, is that he's giving these people false hope. He's saying, I'm going to go to this and I know where they're buried and I know this and that, and they're starting to think, I might actually solve this. I might actually get a bit of peace. And it's bullshit. People are going to do out.
We lost Lee, but I'd hate to be in their position. I'd hate, honest, my heart goes out to her because I'd hate to be in their position, not to have it resolved. But the only person that's getting hurt in this is Anna and her family. They're getting dragged into it and living in the past. I've lived in the past. I've had to live with the past for 30 odd years, but it doesn't help. You need to bed it down, accept it for what it is, turn around and walk forward. We all look back. I've had to look back since the Doyles have been on the scene. The only time I spoke about Lee and what went on were with family and close friends, and then it became public because of the Doyles. I understand what Anna's going through. I understand I need answers. I would hate to think I didn't have answers. But to be honest, there's no answers to be found. You need to lay it to rest. You need to Stop listening to idiots. You need to turn around and focus on your family and your future, because you'll get no peace. And that's my message to Anna. Move forward. You'll get no peace and you'll get no answers.
I think, to be honest, I'll be blatantly honest there. I think she's too far gone for that.
Yeah,
I think she's now too hooked in it.
If she's a Christian, she
she's
can't
been
be
manipulated to death. And
reason.
because I'm saying it as it is, I'm getting it. But at the end of the day, I'm saying it as it is.
Yes.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And the only bad things I've said is the way I've said it. I did ask her to take a lie detector test in regards to sleeping with Keith Felton, who was leading the murder investigation, right? Only because Paddy had said Keith Felton had moved in and Anna. Now, in Scotland, moving in somebody, yeah, I've never heard of somebody.
He believes all this, and he said he's going to pass the lie detector test, isn't he? If he believes it.
He can never pass a lie detector test. I know for a fact he can't. I know for a fact he can't pass his lie detector test regarding that.
No.
I know for a fact. But I said to Anna, because I didn't know the full backstory, I'd never heard of a guy leading the charge at a murder investigation moving. I'd never heard of anything moving in. I'd never heard that any guy leading a murder. Bear in mind, Keith Felton was also David Glover's police handler with Paddy. And then you've got the same leading detective moving in, actually in the house with Anna. I'd never heard of this. So when Paddy had said that Keith Felton had moved in on her, I thought he meant in on her as in sleeping with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only one thing I could, because I've never heard of any in the UK. I've never heard of any police officer moving in with somebody. It's just been man's just been murdered. I've never heard of it in my life.
Hang on, you just said she had a copper move in with her.
Yeah, Keith Felton actually moved in stayed in. Now, the way I heard it from Paddy's lips was I thought he was in sleeping with her.
I'd be run out of town if I'd done that. I'd be run out of fucking town in Middlesbrough if I moved in with a copper after Lee died. I'd be done it.
I've got to get off.
It's
nice to see you. It's been a pleasure. Tulipips.
I'd never heard of a copper moving in on somebody. So when Paddy said it, I mean, that Keith Felton moved in and Anna Connolly, I mean, that moved in as in, you can only take one thing for that.
My sister was a police officer, right? I had no contact with my family because of Lee Duffy, because I had the choice, Lee or my family, because my sister was a copper. I walked away. I don't have no contact with my sister, even though he's gone, because I live in, well, I'm gangster small, aren't I? Whether it's 30 years ago or not, I'll always have that label.
Carol, can you see?
That's my own sister.
Can you see the car crash here? If you've got David Glover, right, who he's come out and admitted, David Glover, Keith Felton was his handler, right? So you've got you've got David Glover making a statement saying Viv Graham murdered Michael Sayers. Michael Sayers murdered Viv Graham. But then you've got David Glover coming out and saying, yeah, Paddy made the same deal with fucking being a Supergrass as I did. And it was Paddy that told me to pin the murder of Viv Graham and Michael Sayers. And he also told Mike, and Dave, tell me what else he said to Davey. He told David Glover that fucking Michael's up there fucking your wife. What you got to do? Get fucking Viv Graham's murder pin on him. And that's how Davey fucking made the statement on on Michael Sayers. All started with Paddy Conroy.
The copper is sleeping.
The same copper who's taking the statement. He's been staying with Anna. Somebody, was it a year or something? I don't know.
So, yeah, it was for quite a long time, wasn't it? It wasn't just the first night or two to make sure. It wasn't like parked outside the house or anything. It was like
corruption here is fucking absolutely crazy. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Well, I can say 1,000,000,000,000% as well. I know the people who've actually seen the paperwork. I just wish I could get it. I told you, didn't I? Someone was at court. They'd gone.
Carol Curtis, sorry, Carol, it wasn't a police. It was Keith Felton moved, and that's been confirmed with loads of people. And that's what I'm saying, Carol. That was my mistake. I thought when Paddy said it at first, I thought he moved in and as in sleeping with her.
No,
yeah.
That's why I said if a copper had moved, say I got on with a copper after Lee died. Do you think I could live in Middlesbrough? I wouldn't be able to. I lost my family because I had a relationship with Lee. My sister was a police officer. She was sergeant at Stockton. I've had no association with her. She tried to contact me a few years ago, but even though Lee's gone, I live in a different world. I can't have her coming around my mates. Can't even come to my house while I smoke a joint, can I? Do you know what I mean? But that's my own sister. I disassociate myself because I'm in the criminal underworld.
Carol, 2 seconds. Carol Curtis is saying, John, he didn't move in with Anna. It was a policewoman. Anna said it wasn't, mate. Ask anybody that was in that circle down there at the time. They'll tell you who it was. It's no secret.
Yeah.
It's no
Any
secret.
associations like that is bad, yeah.
And also, it's like,
I
I know
try not to involve myself. I don't.
Two
I
sex,
try not to
Carol.
involve myself.
2 sex, Carol. But I know for a fact a lad went from the courts to, went from the prison to the courts. Brian's told you this story as well, John. This story.
You there? Emma, your sound's going, pal. Emma.
Glover.
You're back again. Sorry, your sound went there.
Right. So Brian's told you when that paperwork for that operation Lancet was took from the courts. Davy Glover has admitted it himself with the police, and Paddy was on that list at the top as well. He won't admit it. He was definitely on that list, along with many others who would shock. People would be shocked in this area. And there's a lad who's just come out of a life sentence. He was young when he went in. I know that he's seen that paperwork as well because we spoke on the phone while he was in jail. And I'm going to try and get hold of him or approach him because he's still around, obviously, but he's not long out. I'm going to leave it about a month and I'm going to see if I can speak to him. But his name and Davy's name, but Davy admits it, and they're all on there. They've been paid police informers since they were really young, and the police knew a lot of the things they were doing and give them free rein to do so. And Paddy was named as, I'm trying to think of the name, because they all had code names on this paperwork.
Well, David Glover's name was Adrian Scott. That was his pseudonym. I forget Paddy's. It's there somewhere. It's there somewhere. You're bang right, right? And this is where Anna was angry when she said on the podcast it was a policewoman. What she said was, and then she found out that the policewoman was in it as well. What she was meaning was Keith Felton. Then it turned out that it came out that Keith Felton was David Glover's handler. That was where the kind of anger came there.
And can you arrange something, John? Because the lad who's writing Brian's book at the minute has said that he was listening to some podcasts, and David Glover had said he wouldn't mind getting on the show with Brian. So I wouldn't mind, and Brian wouldn't mind that arranging. No, for Davy and Brian to speak. I think it'd be good because Brian's got obviously no malice at all towards Davy, because obviously he knew it was arranged by Paddy and stuff. So, and he knew that obviously Paddy manipulated him from a young age. But I think it'd be great for them two to go on there. And then is he still going to deny the things that went on? Do you know what I mean? How can he?
I'll get what I'll do. So Paddy can't say the words like, "Oh, they're using somebody mentally ill." Davy's on drugs that keeps him calm, but his brain is firing in all cylinders.
Yeah.
And I'll get somebody there with him, right? So that, so because at the end of the day, he's on a podcast with us on this channel already. The night before Cookie got recalled, and he said to Paddy, take the lie detector test and 3 questions. Have you ever made a deal with Northumbria Constabulary for a reduced sentence? Number 2, did you ever tell me to pin the murder of Viv Graham and Michael Sayers in the cell? And number 3, did you interfere with the gun before you handed it in that killed your brother? And that was the 3 questions David and Paddy just blanked him.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest,
this is why I think
Now I've had words with Paddy. It'll be interesting to see if I can start getting attacked, because I've never had any controversy with him. But I'm telling them now, you'll send your trolls after me. You watch me kick off. And now, Anna, I'm not being disrespectful, Pet. If I got it wrong about the police thing, I'm sorry. But Anna, please be careful. If I can tell him a story what happened at Mannion Court,
you didn't get it wrong about the police thing, Carol.
Get put wrong. Key things get put wrong, repeated wrong as fact. If he's doing that to me, be careful, boys, don't you? Anna, you seem nice enough woman. I think you're a bit naive,
I feel so. I think
But I
because I
wish you
can see
well.
Paddy's wrapped around her finger, man, and
Yeah.
if she's got a
Yeah, I
personal
wish you
vendetta
well.
against Stephen
But
Sayers or
please
something, I
get this
can't stop
forward,
that. But if
not
she's
back.
looking for answers and how these things, these statements get made, she needs to listen to what's actually happening out here, because that's where my turning point was. I was a fan of Paddy. And it's nothing to do with any Masonic things. It's nothing to do with any movies, nothing. At the end of the day, it's the truth. And that was my turning point when I realised, wow, just how fucking bad he was.
I know.
Well, I'm only on there this morning because of a story I personally told him, which he had no knowledge of, because he wasn't there. I told him key things were changed, key factors were changed. He changed it from happening in a flat to my house, and he changed it from being ecstasy to crack cocaine. Now, that is from the horse's mouth. I told him the story. He's changed the facts. I've gone on there this morning, said, no, I didn't tell you that. I told you this. You know what I mean? It's everything up for debate. Well, I'm sorry, Paddy. You've just shot yourself in the foot because you're just repeating things wrong. Repeat them as the truth. The truth was bad enough without exaggerating. You know what I mean? But I'm going to jump off chat now because I've got things to do today. Good luck to everybody.
But Carol,
and thank you very much.
you know we're here anyway for you anyway, pal. You just get in touch with Emma. You've got us there.
Emma's a good friend of mine, and she gives me good advice, and she listens, and she's.
But we know what Paddy's
never
doing. Paddy's
tried
just
to
trying to get
influence
everybody
me
to
in
fall
any
out.
way.
And
I have my
leave
own
things going.
mind.
I said the only good thing that came out of all this, all the carry on we've had with the others, is we met each other on it.
Yous are the only people who come to help me when we were getting tortured by them Doyles. You were the only people who went, oh, we understand. You were the people who told me I wasn't the only one it was happening to. So I'm indebted to you, and rightly so.
No, you're not.
Anybody who wants to judge my friendship with the Cockerells can go fuck themselves, because they don't tell me what to do or what to think. Anyway, before I start swearing with me potty mouth again. Catch you later, guys.
Okay, Carol, thanks for coming on, pal.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye. Yeah, and like it's just vile stuff. Like the only people who see, I know a lot of people from Newcastle because I was around the scene of. We used to go to Newcastle and Sunderland, and I heard all the stories around that time, as I've told you before, John. And why would somebody be partying when somebody died?
Exactly.
And then accuse others. Do you know what I mean? There was only one person partying.
Listen, I see it was the same. See the news coming that night that Viv had been murdered. Paddy was the first to jump up and celebrate.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It was only him that was partying. Why? And then why would he pretend? And
I'll tell you another thing as well, right? When John Henry Sayers and that was, bearing in mind, right, they were set up there a super grass, okay? So when John Henry Sayers was going to be getting lifed off, Paddy's like, enjoy your lifers, ha ha ha. Paddy ordered beer, and this is not what I like, guys, right? He ordered all the beer in, blah, 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 and fireworks and everything, right? And then he heard that the case had collapsed, right? He heard the case, he actually kicked the fucking beer and everything all over the place, and that's no word of lie. He kicked everything up in the air because they never get lifted off, because they'd used a supergrass again, a heroin addict supergrass, and they said the information that came into a phone box that they went and they changed the goalpost, try to get. There was never any information came into a phone box, and these guys were going to get fucking lifted off.
And he's celebrating exactly the same MO as what he was like when Paul Cookie got recalled.
Yeah, everybody needs to ask Paddy this, right? Paddy's there saying, like, this Stephen Sayers, he called Stephen Sayers a grass for years. Yeah, Stephen Sayers went done no one but 2 lie detector tests and passed. Right, and this is a question to Anna Conley. I've seen you in the comments saying, how could you pass a test when you were asked a question, have you ever lied to your parents? That's a question that's asked. So you tell a lie so they can, it's 3 questions simultaneously. Yeah. And that's to deter if you're telling a lie or telling the truth. So when somebody, have you ever lied to your parents? Of course, every single person in the world were told a wee lie to their parents.
Yeah, of course,
so you're told to tell a deliberate lie there so they can then take that off the graph.
Yes,
that's
of course.
Yeah, so when Stephen Sayers passed not 1 but 2 lie detector tests, what did Paddy then come out and say the next morning? Bear in mind, they used the same guy that Paddy had used the same company, so he couldn't say, oh, corruption, this they done a drugs test, he peed in a bloody jar while the camera was on him. He turned his back, but you could see nothing down his pants. He gave a drugs test and he passed not one but two. Now, so where's all this evidence that the Sayers have grasped Paddy Conroy for all these murders? He's never been mentioned. He's never been he's never even been cautioned. He's never been charged. He's never been questioned over these murders.
I know. And the thing is, he always says his party pieces like, how can it's because they were smoking weed, or it's because Brian can't go on apply detector test because he's got psychosis, or he's got his new one is I think he's accused saying he's got Crohn's disease, psychosis, something else, and it's like, so he can't do a lie detector test. So blatantly, he's trying to put into people's heads, and these people that enable him and follow him and watch him and listen to all these delusions. And sorry, Anna, you included listening to him. Is like he's more or less planting this seed into people's heads to say, oh well, because they're on this lie detector test won't be true. He's absolutely deluded. He says he's been and done lie detector tests. If he had, they would have been out there. He's done no lie detector tests because he knows he can't pass them.
He can't pass them, and if he's saying he's covered the Brian Cockerill attack and he passed it, he's a liar.
Totally
liar. And I could put my hand in the Bible and say he's a liar.
Total lie. I mean, look what Cookie said. Cookie said, you were all coming unstuck in the house until Glover did what he had to do. And that is the truth. Do you know what I mean? They were coming unstuck because Brian must have been like a fight or flight situation. I've always done a runner from situations, but I suppose Brian's, you get that mad strength, don't you, if you're fighting for your life? And and Brian was a big lad then, and like Cookie said, he was pulling the radiators off the wall, throwing them all over, and it was only because there was that much blood coming out of his head where he'd been hit with the hammer by Conroy, that he slipped on the floor, and that's where he was pinned down, and the injury to his leg with a machete.
Yeah. Yes.
But I mean, them kids have been in touch with me who were in that house. I mean, he was 13 at the time, or 14, I think, and he said that he's never got over it. He spoke to me in depth about it. I know he's definitely willing to come on. The man who owned the house has told me. The man next door, an absolutely really respected man from Middlesbrough, who used to have one of the clubs, like the social clubs in the town. He's on Brian's channel saying exactly what happened when Brian came out the house. It was one of the kids that actually was helping Brian to out the house, and the man said they didn't think he was actually going to make it. He had to just drop him off at the side entrance and get one of the porters who we knew to take Brian in. Obviously, they had to get away because they knew Brian wouldn't want police and stuff involved. But it was actually the police, an off-duty policeman, because that road that it happened on is one of the busiest roads in Middlesbrough. When you come through, I'll take you down that road, right? And there's cars constantly all day long, right? 'Cause it's the main road into Middlesbrough and out of Middlesbrough. And that happened on a main road, and an off-duty copper, or I think it could have been one of the coppers watching what was going, which is Brian and them used to go at the house, had obviously seen them come out covered in the blood. And if that didn't happen, why was there one of their cars pulled up on the A19 and with blood all over them?
Exactly.
So, do you know what I mean? How did that come about? It wasn't that the hospital had phoned the police when Brian went in, and off-duty policemen reported it, and they were caught on the A19 in a car, and obviously Brian's blood was all over.
Yeah.
And that's when Brian said, "Oh, we've been sparring and stuff." But and I just don't know if you can blatantly lie the way he blatantly lies. And I mean,
he's getting away with it so far. Emma, can I just, guys, listen? If you're seeing, there's 201 people watching, there's a lot more than that. If you're wondering why you can only see half the chat, it's because I'm streaming it through the official Humble Dryer and the Humble Dryer at the same time. It's working a treat. And it's just because we're kind of in about 14,000 mark with the subscribers, maybe a bit more across the two channels. So it's working all right for now.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's just a few people asking how they can only see half the chat. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's what we've got to do, pal. Because I told you I'm down next week, right? So I'll come and see you. I'll come and see you next week, and they've got a podcast at the end of the month. It'll be getting streamed across a few channels as well. But the one only podcast. But I just want to big up my normal folk. Thanks, A Different Breed, for coming on, guys. FM. What I'm doing, guys, right? Because I've got a technical issue with. It was one of the pinned comments and one of my shorts kept getting unpinned. So what I've did, I'm going to add mods as the streams goes on, and then remove them just to get to the back of the technical thing. And then when I'm on the chat that morning, I'll add the mods again. So if your spanners are coming and going, don't worry about it. Don't take offence to it, obviously, because I'm trying to get to why this is bloody happening. It's doing my bloody head in. So everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, it does.
Everybody if you could share Brian Cockerill's channel, Brian and Emma, if you could share their channel, please. Also, Emma, next week when we're down, I want to talk to you regarding. We've always thought there's been some sort of ex-copper or something involved in some of the things that's going on out here, just because of the personal details of people that's been getting put out there.
1,000,000%.
I want to speak to you regarding that as well.
Yeah.
There's a few things I want to be getting covered, and I asked yesterday if people would like to hear from the American guy Wheezy on a live with me at some point. Now I said if it happens, it will be on the condition that I don't want to be getting an Andrew going whatsoever. Any of that chat, I'm out of it. But if guys, what do you think? Do you think I should get an interview Wheezy in regards to things, or what? I mean, would you be interested in Wheezy? Is a guy who went against Sean Atwood, but again, it all got messy. And to be honest, I was never personally a fan of Wheezy's, but again, it's a story. I don't know if people was interested in hearing it. We can hear it again. It'll be kept legal. I'll not be just coming on to slag the life out of people, and I'm not having people. I'm personally not interested in anybody. I mean, Anne's probably not going to be happy, but at the end of the day, Anne's friendly with people. Let's went in and out for a long time, and I've not said nothing. So at the end of the day, everybody for their own. But again, I'll not be taking any part of any chasing any gay guy about the internet for any sort of pleasure.
Can I just say something to Si Bennett?
Of course you can.
He said, is he saying it never happened in case he gets nicked for it again? Listen, Si, he's trying to get people nicked left, right and centre for things that haven't happened. Brian got him out of the prison where he was remanded with Brian's blood all over him, because at that time you had to consent to giving your blood and stuff when that happened, and Brian refused to. So Brian stood up in the court and said, this man's my friend, and he got the blood by, we were sparring, and he popped my nose. So Brian got him off with it. It's him that's brought it all back up again, right, and brought the whole scenario back up. And Brian is on a video about 1.5 years ago saying, Paddy, why are you bringing all this up? I got you off with it, but this is what's happened. So he's bringing it all on himself, like he's trying to get everybody nicked, and he's getting that deranged because the things that he's accusing people of isn't true. The police know that it isn't true, because these people would have been nicked ages ago, right? And he's getting that deluded that he's actually just spouting all kinds about himself now, isn't he? He's just causing it all for himself.
Yeah.
With regards to Brian.
Yeah.
So
digging his own hole as he's been doing. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. Guys, I'm going to have to go because I've got a lot. Right. Chelsea's got something to say. It doesn't matter. It's your channel, John. She's allowed doxing on of your address and name calling and hers, not having a go on, but you can do what you want. Yeah, exactly.
Different breed, thank you. Different breed seems a nice person. Thank you.
Different breed, yeah, mate. Spot on. That's Carol Walker. He's the real fighting Irish on Instagram.
Oh, Carl. Yeah. I've been looking. Right, Carl, I've been looking for you for ages. I seen you on John's there when I first came on. And
I've been for 5, Carol.
I've been looking for him under his own name, because we were chatting before. Yeah, if I can try and get John's details, because we'd love to have him on. That'd be lovely if you'd arrange
Yeah,
that, John.
You should have said, yeah, that's Carl Walker, mate. That's
So now,
he was on.
I
We done a
conceded.
wee interview with him a couple of months ago, maybe
Yeah.
4 months
Yeah,
ago or something.
We're going to talk about his granddad and stuff. It sounded so interesting. But yeah, Carl, if you can get in touch with us, that'll be wonderful.
You want to jump on for 5, Carol, before I... Oh, wait, see, you'll probably jump on. His phone battery died there.
Yeah.
His phone battery died. So Decca's the Simon from the Backyard Brawls has walked away from it. The guy got a phone call last night, or him and his wife got a phone call to say if he went on the humble dryer, he was going to get macheted. Yeah. So, yeah. But I don't know. I think his wife, I don't know, she works at a school now, so I don't know if she's went to the police. But quite right, if she has as well. And if anybody's been messaging these kids' profiles, again, go to the police with it. I urge anybody that's messaging any of your kids, go to the police with it.
Definitely.
And then get to the back, get the channel ID. Make sure you always go to the about and get the channel ID at all times. You need to get. Oh, here's Carol coming.
Hi, Carl.
On, buddy.
Hi, guys. You all right?
Are you okay? Yeah. I've been
Are you
looking for you. Yeah, I've been looking.
The best way to get me is through Instagram, Emma. It's CarlWalker Fighting Irish.
Right,
I'll send the link.
John will send you the link. He's got me on Instagram too, love. It's CarlWalker Fighting Irish. Get it off John, and that's the best way to contact me, because I'm no good at this YouTube and stuff, to be honest with you. I haven't a clue how to do it. Just John just sends me the link, and I just click the link, and that's me on. So
that's what Brian's like too.
Apart from commenting and speaking when I'm on, I don't know how to do anything else. Put up the odd video, but that's about it.
Yeah, Brian's like that, isn't he, John? He always leaves the lives on.
Just when the live was finished, I'm like, I'll be. Sometimes you come off, you kick the table or something, kick your big toe off the bottom of the page. Like, you fucking bastard, and the live's still running.
I'm the same. That's what I think I've done that early on myself, mate. But listen, I see you see all that there other shit about other guy. Don't take no acknowledge of that there idiot, because he's just a clown. You and Brian and yourself, John. There's all the rest of the guys on YouTube. People know who the real ones are, who the nice people are, who the genuine people are, who the real people are, and we all love you for who you are. And we all just look at them now like pieces of shit, because all they are, just in here to stir shit, cause trouble. But John's here. John's here to out them all, and that's what he's doing. He's spitting out the truths, and the truth hurts, and that's why they're eating themselves alive, because they're finally hearing the truth from people. But
Carol, I'm even getting the truth for some people, and that's what they've asked me to get, and then they don't want to hear it. It's fucking brutal.
Exactly, mate. Yes, the truth hurts. At the end of the day, for example only, you're in a relationship and do something you do something and your partner doesn't like it, and you know personally it's wrong, and she tells you it's wrong, and it's true because it's true. You don't like it, the fact that it's true, because it's wrong and it's true. So you take offense to it because you know it's truthful. You know what I mean? So that's a prime example of what the truth hurts. So if you're down if you're doing something wrong in a relationship, and your missus tells you, or your partner tells you that's wrong, buck up your ideas, and you know it's wrong, your hairs go up on your back, and you get a bit awkward, because you know it's true. You know what I mean? And that's what you're doing. You're outing all these guys, and their hairs are going up on the back, and they're putting up the shields because the truth hurts and it's killing them, so they're fighting back.
But Carol, see, at the end of the day, mate, I'm only out in ones like your Deckers and folk that's been super
100%.
grasses and try to call innocent people super grasses. I'm out in age. People that's got allegations of underagers and all that shit. You know, it's not like I'm going after just fucking anybody just for the sake of it.
Mate, you're going after the people who deserve it, mate, and people who no one would ever know all this about these people unless it was for you, mate. To be honest with you, and that's the truth.
Yeah, people need awareness, don't they?
It's been a team effort, though. Honestly, I'd never take it off. Yeah.
Of course, they need to be aware of who they have. Like, for example, that lovely lady from Liverpool had him sitting in her house, and she was oblivious to any of it.
Mandy Jameson, Emma's friend as well.
My friend as well. It was mad that because I lived with Mandy's cousin for 7 years in Liverpool, so it was crazy because I didn't know she was in touch with him, and I got in touch with you, didn't I, John, and said I don't know how to deal with it because I just found out she'd lost her son.
That's unbelievable, and that's just another example. If it wasn't for the likes of John pointing it out to everyone, no one would have known any different. Do you know what I mean?
I know,
Carol, mate. It was like when Emma comes, she's like, "How do I tell this woman?" I was like, "Well, we can't no tell her, because she might have her back in the house with her kids." Then so Emma just approached her nicely and said, "Listen, Mandy, I'm sorry to say, but there's and Mandy then went and done her own homework, and she was fucking real. This is Mandy Jameson, guys, who was doing a knife documentary with Decca, and she'd lost a kid through knife crime.
Beautiful, Daniel.
And then to find out that she's got somebody that's not allowed near her kids, sitting with her kids during it made her blood boil. It did.
And the videos is on Brian's channel, but I mean, I knew Daniel when he was little because obviously Mandy was my ex-partner's. He had the boxing club in Liverpool, Joe and George Schofield, but they were a lovely family, and I knew Daniel from when he was little. And when I got in touch with her, I got in touch with her off Billy Moore's podcast. I seen her on there, and I realised that Daniel died. I was absolutely heartbroken. That was the first time we'd spoke for that length of time, and it was just so sad. And then the next thing I hear, about a week down the line, he's doing a documentary. I was like, no way, I've got to now ring her after she's going through grief. Do you know what I mean? And tell her that he's what he is. But
heartbreaking, isn't it?
Yeah,
for her, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even his partner Bummies Decker displayed it right. He got a 6-month sexual harm prevention order for that itself, and he never completed it. Yeah,
and look where's the repercussions of not completing it, John? You know what I mean,
mate? Carl, have you ever seen anything like that for somebody? I've been done for non-payment of fines and that. You went down to 7-14, whatever it was. You get consecutive with your run concurrent with your sentence. I've never seen anything like that. 55 pages and done under 90 days in the jail.
Unbelievable. Yeah, same. I got caught. I got caught driving. At the time I had no license, and I got a 2-year suspended prison sentence. And that was my very first time being caught in a car with no license. And I'm talking when this was when I was younger, and that just goes to show you, you know what I mean, how small of a crime that really is compared to what he's done, and he's get away with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And then there's the likes of us who piss in the street corner and then end up getting a jail sentence.
What do you think him teaming up with RNG though?
Didn't he?
Yeah.
Brian, the only one Brian's got, like, he went to prison for. He was remanded a couple of times for different things, but obviously found not guilty. But he got 3 years for a driving offence.
Look, I'm fully legit now, and I'm on the road. I'm fully legit, thank God, because I changed my ways. But John will tell you himself. My background was unbelievable. Fucking my history is unbelievable. Hence why I'm on the Beyond Lad Bible this part of summertime. Because it's a very good story to be coming out of it, and everyone will be well fascinated in my background. You know what I mean? But I've changed myself around now because I've seen a bit of light. Thank fuck. But apart from that, I have all your support. I have John's support 100%. What he's doing is totally right. I think he's doing God's work. You know what I mean? Pointing out the wrong people who shouldn't be on these platforms. The next door neighbour should be
Carol, anything regarding any sort of children whatsoever should never be fucking tolerated.
Mate,
it's crazy, John, because like I said, like that one when I was attacked, I got attacked by two lads tried to rape me. I referring to me as a 6-year-old, and they had
Yeah.
images of really young children on the phone, and I had to do video evidence and that because they had children themselves, and I was horrified last week. He's been on YouTube all this time and he's commenting under people's videos, and I think nobody knows who he is. Do you know what I mean?
No
But
one. You're right.
I know, and it's like how many more of them is there about? Do you know what I mean? It's just scary.
At the start too, Emma, I admit I hold my hands up too. At the very start, before all this came out, when he was doing the bare knuckle, and I was in the bare knuckle scene and stuff,
Yeah.
I knew no different. I just knew him from face off, from a normal guy who liked to do a bit of fighting, and I didn't know any different. And the way he presents himself and the way he came across was just a normal guy. You know, you wouldn't think nothing different. And then all of a sudden you hear all this stuff, and then the true colours come out, and it's like, wow, you know. And sometimes you regret even being near that company, but then you can't turn back time, can you?
No, not at all.
Where are you now? You're in the UK now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm living just beside Derby, John, in the Midlands. Just about a little village about 10 minutes away from Derbyshire.
Oh, we've got a couple down in that area, kind of giving Brian and Emma a bit of shit in the mate.
I wrote a comment there saying Emma Cockerill, Brian has my full support. So there's not an issue whatsoever, mate. I'm down here in Derby at a little town called Burton upon Trent. It's right beside Derby, mate, about 10 minutes away. So I'm sure with a few private conversations, there'll be no issues at all.
Yeah, thank you.
So Emma,
today, Brian, I've sent Emma the link to your Instagram, right? Get a live set up with you and Brian and Emma, mate, and I'll push it out there. Guys, basically what's happened is Carol Walker here, his missus was contacted by Dick Higgy, right? And basically saying you need a real man, and basically Carol, he's actually said that she's got a real man, me, and he blocked. So Carol then went a wee run in the car just to have a wee talk, and he's ended up coming away with breach of the peace charges and everything. So that just shows you, people, when he's asking people to go to his house and then you go to his house, you end up with breach of the peace charges not flung at you without saying too much about it.
Yeah, well, do you know that? Remember me telling you that I was speaking to somebody who's running the security, and he's willing to come on somewhere, John. But we just never followed it up because Brian was ill at the time and stuff. But he was running the security in Carlisle at the time. He was running the doors, and he knows 100% as well. He still plays golf with the ex. He said he was like an old school. Do you know them? What they call desk sergeants? But he was like an old school one, and his desk sergeant really wanted to get hold of the person we're talking about. And there's loads of stuff what hasn't even come out where there's been people being spiked in nightclubs and stuff like that. But he's willing to come on and say the lot.
All right, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you about.
That'd be interesting.
So okay, that's nice.
Yeah. So there's all that.
That'll be very interesting.
Well, listen, guys, I'm going to shoot off because I've got things to do.
Yes, John.
Carol, I've sent Brian and Emma your link for your Instagram account.
100%, mate, 100%.
And I just want to thank everybody that's watched between the two channels, the 200 odd plus that was in this morning there. Just want to
thank you too, John.
Remember, hit the likes on the way out, guys, because...
Right, thank you. And Carl, thank you so much for your support, and we can't wait.
Not a problem. Thank you very much, guys, for having me on. I really appreciate it. You're absolutely amazing. Keep it up.
Thank you. And we'll speak to you today. I'll send you a message.
Not a problem. God bless you all. Thank you very much. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye. Bye, John, mate.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, mate. So thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.